my god! No way!
Whistles are removed from the randomizer. So Sky is about to take care of Bowser here. And again, just a quick kill here, and Bowser is taught. So Skybills will be the winner. The Queen reigns supreme. Bodies the Mario 3. Bodies a previous world record holder and current world record holder in various categories. And bodies the master of Kaizo Mario. One of the many, I guess you would say. She shows you all right now why she is a beast to be recognized in Mario 3. If you have to face her, I'm sorry.
Through the auto scroller naturally, although it's fun in the classroom, not necessarily in the speed run. All right, come on. We're almost there. Come on. All right, that's fine. That restores health. That actually might seal the deal right there. There we go. That's time.
We made it.
We made it.
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah. So chat's a little bit confused by what Mitch is doing. So the hitbox of Bowser does not actually exist.
Mitch goes down!
Oh no! Oh, he took a hit! Oh no! Oh, this Sky could take this if she doesn't get hit here.
She's got one more.
Oh my! Holy cow!
And Bowser up. Down he goes.
Oh,
and
GG!
edge of my seat. Oh my god! No way!
Whistles are removed from the randomizer. So Sky is about to take care of Bowser here. And again, just a quick kill here, and Bowser is taught. So Skybills will be the winner. The Queen reigns supreme. Bodies the Mario 3. Bodies a previous world record holder and current world record holder in various categories, embodies the master of Kaizo Mario. One of the many, I guess you would say. She shows you all right now why she is a beast to be recognized in Mario 3. If you have to face her, I'm sorry.
Through the auto scroller naturally, although it's fun in the classroom, not necessarily in the speed run. All right, come on. We're almost there. Come on. All right, that's fine. That restores health. That actually might seal the deal right there. There we go. That's time.
We made it.
We made it.
Now, yeah, so chat's a little bit confused by what Mitch is doing. So the hitbox of Bowser does not actually exist.
Mitch goes down!
Oh no! Oh, he took a hit! Oh no! Oh, this Sky could take this if she doesn't get hit here!
She's got one more.
Oh my! Holy cow!
And
Dorka's. Oh, there you go.
Now you can go.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? So lovely for everybody to be able to join us this evening. This is year 3 of the Skyforce Strong for St. Jude. In the past 2 years, we have raised $15,000 for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And this year, our 2 milestones are going to be 11,000, which matches last year, 15,000, which will unlock both the bonus days, and our lofty goal this year, which is double last year's total, will be $22,000. So
Ooh, boy.
We're here for our 14-day to possibly 16-day journey, and I am looking forward to being able to share this with all of you. Tonight, we're going to be doing Super Mario All-Stars Warplets, all 4, with a possible 5th game added after a brief break for Super Mario World No Star World as well. Our racers are going to be Lasso, Rupert, and Oglib, and commentary here, my commentators, are Author Blues and Mr. Cab 55, and thank you both for being here tonight.
It'll be our I can't talk already. Our pleasure.
It'll be fun.
Yep, so I am going to dot ready here in a second, and again, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Let's do this.
Not ready, so fancy.
I love this layout.
Yeah, we're not fancy over here. We're not dot. Oh wait, they probably do actually have an SRL race room. The idea that they could have an SRL race room didn't occur to me until exactly this moment.
Actually, I see it.
Dang. All right, well you're gonna have to keep an eye on that. I've sworn off racing. I'm currently boycotting the action, not the location, the action.
I'm totally the SRL police, so I guess it's up to me. But
yeah.
Enough about that. I mean, I still got to say hi to everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for watching this All-Stars race that's going to be benefiting St. Jude's. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is going to be a ton of fun. All of these players are really fun to watch. In All-Stars, Sky and Rupert are both incredibly strong, and Oglib and Lasso are both incredibly fun to watch ultimately.
Wow.
I know. I'm shooting the shots early.
I mean,
they can't hear
you're not
me.
wrong.
They
But,
can't hear me.
Well, I will say that they have already up. The RaceBot has counted down, and we should be seeing them get started shortly. Like you said, though, Sky and Rupert really strong, really like veterans of this category and really all the categories. Lasso and Oglib definitely powerhouses in Mario 3.
Which is going to be incredibly interesting since SMB3 is where this is going to wrap up for most players. That's typically most players tend to go in order, and I think SMB3 is going to be kind of interesting to see how they sort of pick back up the pace. Where Sky and Rupert are both very strong at SMB1 and 2J.
Yeah, so Sky and Roop should be kind of jumping out early as we go here. Although even then, Oglib and Lasso, I think, have the strats. They have the skills to kind of get through this first part of Mario 1. I think you agree with me on this. It's kind of like the warm-up almost to the game.
For sure. Yeah, and jokes aside, all four of these players are better than I am and a ton of fun to watch. They're all very good at this. This is going to be a really great race to see. Both Sky and Rupert are playing Fire Mario strats, which are pretty common. Oglib going with the small Mario strats so far. I don't know if we're going to see that change. I don't know if he went for power-ups and ended up losing them at some point, but it's kind of funny, Rupert's complete difference between playing this on NES and playing this on All-Stars. He plays Fire Mario on All-Stars and he plays Small Mario on NES, so...
Yeah, Oglib's getting that mushroom now in 1-3, which I think is still technically the faster way of getting fire, but 1-2 fire is just significantly safer for getting through those narrow gaps with Koopas on the other side in 1-2. Definitely a good race strat to just get fire early.
I just want to point out we got a few really early donations. Thanks so much already. We got $100 from Bernie saying have to start it out the right way, and we already got $50 from Enigma. So thank you so much for your contribution.
Wow, thanks guys.
Rupert abandoned Small Mario during the Warpless tourney for NES. Ooh, I guess love lost there. So all four of our players are doing Fire Mario strats. Fire Mario strats are really interesting because they're technically the fastest of all three options between Small Mario, Small Fire, and Fire Mario. And then on top of that, they also end up being the most volatile just because of the fact that if your strategy is to go in with Fire Mario, anytime you lose Fire Mario, that means that you're sort of on edge until the next time you can pick up those power-ups. Whereas with Small Mario, mistakes are punished by death, but you immediately get back to normalcy.
Yeah, I'm glad to see everybody's also like, getting through 2-1 here, because you were alluding a little bit earlier to NES version versus SNES version of this game. And 2-1's kind of the first stage where there's some piranha plants out of pipes, there's some just weird behavior. I always feel like, I don't know for sure if the fireball arcs are different in this game than they are in NES, but it definitely feels that way a lot. So just like getting through that kind of clumsy stage in 2-1 quickly is always good. The fact, I'm watching Rupert now try to swim through these bloopers. I still have flashbacks here to trying to swim past all these enemies.
All three of our players are in the water stage. The water stages in SMB1 are absolutely dreadful. They don't improve when we get to lost levels. They're just different and more annoying. So we'll be seeing a lot of these water levels. Thankfully, not too many of them, though. And all three of our players know what they're doing, know how to make it through it. This can be a huge roadblock for people who may have trouble with this game.
Yeah. Now all four of them are getting here into the 2-3 stage slowly.
We have
no
interestingly.
trolls.
Interestingly, Sky's actually in fourth right now, just in terms of straight progress. But most of that's just due to the fact that Sky's a very conservative player. She tends to not take a ton of risks, and while that may be seen as not great, the thing is that that's going to really come into handy when we start getting to the more volatile levels of lost levels, for instance, where little mistakes are punished heavily. And so being able to just survive the levels, however fast you take them, is going to end up producing a fairly commanding lead.
Definitely. And like we were saying the shots fired at Glib and Lasso earlier, and I'll say it. Sky, I think Mario 1's probably her weakest game of the four.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So having her like kind of keep up here in the early game, getting a little bit of luck with things like Rupert's death in 2-3 a few minutes ago now. But as long as she's staying close, you're going to see just what happens in lost levels when she's playing her game.
Yeah, this group definitely breaks down in an interesting way because I would say Rupert's the strongest of the 4 for SMB1 by a mile.
Easily.
Sky is almost certainly the strongest of the 4 for lost levels, especially on this version. This is her wheelhouse. Rupert might be a close second, but I would definitely say Sky is stronger at lost levels. And then Lasso and Oglib together just have the commanding lead for SMB3. There's no really one person that I would say is the person for SMB2, but Rupert is a very, very talented player, especially on this category, all 4 warpless. And of the 4 of them, he probably has the most chops for SMB2.
Yeah, going back to when I first started seeing Rupert on Twitch, I'm pretty sure he was like in this crew that was doing warpless races across all the NES games. Mario 2 not in there quite as much, Mario 2 US, but I mean certainly Rupert kind of has that like variety ability to just kind of keep going, switching up physics. So he's not going to have any real weakness across any of these.
It looks like we're on Twitch front page right now. If you guys are watching from the Twitch front page, don't be afraid to come and drop by. We've got a great chat here. Love to hang out with you. We're raising money for St. Jude through the St. Jude Play Live event. Over the next 14, perhaps a few more days if we meet our bonus goals, perhaps 16 days. Over the next 14 days at least, we'll be doing a charity marathon raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. So the tentative goal right now is to hit the $15,000 mark with the lofty goal of $22,000, which would double last year's intake. If we hit 15,000, we'll see some bonus events making it onto the end of the schedule. So there's a lot of really great things coming up over the next 2 weeks at least. Sky's doing great. She's sticking with it. You know, she pulled ahead of Lasso a little bit, but all 4 of these players are really keeping in lockstep. It can be so easy in Super Mario Bros. 1 to just sort of hit a roadblock, some mental block that just gets you stuck in one level for too long. And really none of these players seem to be experiencing that, which is really great.
That's good. 3-4 actually is probably one of the levels that's easier on SNES than it is on NES, since the Potabo jump height is always high enough to jump under on this version.
Yeah, the jump heights for these lava bubbles are much higher than they usually are, and that can be very convenient because the NES version is not too polite when it comes to that.
In NES version, is it high enough? You have to kind of determine on the fly what you're going to do. And that's 3-4 there, scary level here. Less so. 4-1, easiest level. You do have to worry about that piranha hitbox, but go ahead.
Oasis donated $5 saying, best of luck this week, Sky. Let's get that 22,000 hype. Absolutely. I think we can do it. We've got a great community here. Everyone is so giving and wonderful, and it all goes to a great cause. So I think we can do it this year.
Yeah, I mean, children's hospitals, it's like one of the greatest causes. Let's do this.
Rupert clearly cheating, walking through the heads-up display at the top of the screen.
Someone's got to tell Oglib. I mean, we can't let him be stuck down there.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, this is the point where you're supposed to get up to the top of the level. I didn't see what happened to Lasso, but he's kind of showing off here that the hitboxes in SNES Piranha Plants are fixed. NES version, you're able to just kind of easily jump over them right there. This version, have fun. I think you technically can still do it, but it's such a tight window, nobody really goes for it.
So you can't jump cleanly over it in this version, but you can do a pipe jump. So if you get the timing right, you can land on the left flip of the pipe and jump over the piranha plant. It's really challenging to pull off, though. Sky taking a little bit easy here. This is going to be her mantra throughout the night, and what you guys are going to get used to seeing is Sky plays it a little bit conservatively. She doesn't take a ton of risks. She still knows what she's doing, and she plays as fast as possible. But in the face of real danger, she takes it a little bit easy, and that's really going to be what's going to make the difference for her, at least.
So yeah, Rupert, like we said, this is kind of his strongest game. He's powering through sort of the maze dungeon here. Everyone else is kind of still pulling up, trying to keep up here, but we are definitely getting to sort of the end of the easy part of Mario 1, if there is such a thing. Once you hit World 5, there's kind of a difficulty spike, and there's just a lot more enemies, a lot tighter jumps here and there.
Bowser starts throwing hammers.
Oh, 5-2 especially has lots of Hammer Brothers in it. And on the SNES version, like we kind of already saw a little bit in 2-1, even if we didn't talk about it, there's a lot fewer enemies despawning overall. So depending on what you're used to, you might have many more enemies to deal with. And Rupert right there falling into the bullet bill gap. Like it doesn't happen often, but that cannon can snipe you.
A quick reminder for those tuning in and donating to the event, tonight's goal in particular is $1,000 raised. And if we hit the $1,000 mark tonight, they're going to, after the race is over, reset up and do a Super Mario World, I believe no Star World race. So that should be a lot of fun to watch if you like Super Mario World. And if you don't, it should be nice to watch them suffer. So either way, you win.
I
said
like
if.
Mario.
I said if. I said if.
Okay.
Yeah, Lasso got a tiny bit walled in the middle of World 3, and he's been doing a good job staying in step with them. He hasn't fallen too far behind because of it. But that's what ended up happening to him, is in World 3 he had a little bit of trouble. Tries to save his fire in the 4-4 Bowser. That Bowser fight has a lot going on in it. It's very easy to lose it. He takes the hit and he says, screw it, just runs right through.
Yeah, that Bowser fight's just so awful. Ugh. But he is through, like you said, and that's the important thing. Now he can actually worry about World 5.
He was actually the first one to tackle 5-3. 5-3 is just a carbon copy of 1-3 with the added difference of random bullet bill spawns. There's no rhyme or reason to them. It's not possible to just prepare for it. You see Oglib going through it now. You really have to be able to think on the fly very quickly to figure out what you're going to do. You can duck under them. You can jump over them, but whatever you do, you have to respond to them as they come. And a lot of times they come in really unfortunate timing.
Yeah, and Oglib there, you can kind of see him also showing off that stomp mechanic of Mario 1. As long as you're moving down, you'll hit that bullet, even if it looks like it's hitting Mario right in the chest.
This guy heading into 5-3 as well now.
Rupert making short work of Bowser in 5-4. Whew, Sky's dodge right there. Rupert lost fire somewhere along the way, and it looks like he's going to try and get it back in 6-1. But he was able to show off that small Mario skill in 5-4, recognizing Bowser jumping forward, getting right through there.
A big difference in Sky's play, being conservative like she is because everyone's using Fire Mario strats. The cost of taking a hit is not small. You actually have to figure out a good timing and location to pick up all your new power-ups. So whereas other players have been having some struggles, keeping those power-ups up, all Sky is doing is, waiting 1 extra second to save that time in the long run, not having to get new power-ups. You'll notice that she hasn't really lost any time in any of these stages over other players that we've seen, just because of the fact that these other players have been scrambling to keep their power-ups, whereas she hasn't needed to do that.
No, there's also a little bit, Mario 1 especially, a lot of times when you see kind of the less experienced players in Mario 1 trying to get fire back, there's always, like you're saying, where is it? Where's the fire? Where's the power-up? And it's just that experience from there that sometimes it'll help them out with being able to know exactly where to get it. Sometimes you kind of panic, go for the wrong one here and there, or like just. I hate it when you see a player start just hitting bricks randomly. I don't think we're going to see that today, but
No, I think all of these players have a pretty good idea, at least where their safety power-ups are. They may not know all of them, but they're not going to start randomly hitting bricks. They've got plans for where to pick them up again. We saw Oglib here having to take his time through 6-2. I mean, this is the danger of losing your power-ups. A stage like 6-2, where every single pipe has a piranha plant, there's tons of enemies. I mean, that's going to slow you down, whereas Sky is going to be able to fireball her way through it, even if she had to take a tiny bit more time in earlier levels to preserve those power-ups. Here, she's going to have the power-ups necessary to keep moving. And that's going to make up some of that difference.
Even just kind of fireballing these piranha plants, maybe a little slowly like she's doing, but she's very consistent at it. She knows she has a game plan and she's following it. And even doing that is like a lot faster than standing there without fire and waiting for your path to be clear.
Rupert just got through 6-4, one of the more straightforward castles. We're going to see the World 7 castle coming up be another puzzle castle. Let me catch up on a little bit of these donations. We have Mutters dropped $100. Thank you so much for your donation. Fantastic. We got an anonymous donation for $50 saying, have fun with SMW Skylit. And then Flex Retro donated $20 saying, let's go everyone, save those frames, save those kids. We love you too. And Trema dropped $50. So we're doing fantastic. We're really getting close to that goal. $1,000 today will unlock SMW, so don't forget.
Basically already have $400 here. This is awesome.
So that anonymous donation I mentioned was Tormod Wolf. Just wanted to fix that really quickly.
7-1, actually not a very fun stage. Roop's already kind of through it, and we're seeing Oglib go through it now. Just a lot of bullets, a lot of Hammer Brothers, a lot of making sure you don't land on a Piranha Plant. Glib, please don't get hit by that bullet.
Sky having a little bit of trouble with 6-4. 6-4 is not a nice castle when it goes wrong. There's more of the fire bars, more of the potaboos, and it can be really tough to find that right cycle. You know, if you get going through the stage and you don't slow down, it's not terrible. If you get held up at any point, then sort of it's on you to figure out your path through this one.
Yeah, that first room of 6-4 especially, like levels that are carbon copies of each other. 6-4 is 1-4, but all the fire bars have been filled in, and that first room is just awful. And the rest of it, like you're saying, is just really slow. 7-2 and 7-3, also carbon copies of 2-2 and 2-3 respectively. But 7-2 has a lot more fish, and 7-3 has Koopas, which 2-3 did not.
Yeah, we saw Rupert navigating 7-2 just expertly. He did fantastic. 7-3, the Cheap Bridge is a stage that you hope never goes wrong, but really all it takes is getting thrown off temporarily, slowed down just a little bit, and those Cheaps catch up with you. You notice that players that never slow down tend to not struggle too much. There's a few hairy spots, but all it takes is a little bit going wrong, and it's over.
Rupert's death there was actually like right before the midway point of the stage, which is really unfortunate. It's going to give everybody else quite a bit of time to catch up there. He's through this time, and he's still on track to kind of, win his game, as it would be. But that's going to be time he might wish he had back later on.
Nonetheless, Rupert has been showing off what we were saying from the very start. SMB1 is by and far his game. You saw Oglib there passing up the extra power-up. He wants that fire, but he knows better. He knows that a smart SMB1 player is not going to slow down on the Cheap Bridge. It's a risk that's not worth the reward. Rupert here taking his time on the 7-4 Bowser. It's a Hammer Bowser with a Potaboo. Fortunately, we don't have that stupid fire bar.
Or that giant wall hanging down like we're going to see in another game in 7-4.
Oh, Oglib just barely missing the jump. We ended up getting the SMB1 box art off of him. Lasso keeping up with it too. All of these players staying very close. Rupert just starting World 8. Lasso just finishing 7-1 going into 7-2. I mean, this is not enough of a lead that Rupert can rest on his laurels. And SMB1 being Rupert's strongest game, I mean, he's still a powerhouse in all three other games. But, he probably would love to see an even bigger lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the one good thing for Rupert at this point is that World 8 is always sort of a wild card in Mario 1. It's like...
Oh, absolutely. And whereas he is going to feel confident to get through it, these other players might struggle a little bit more. You know, we might see Sky and Lasso and Oglip having to take their time with World 8, not quite sure how to navigate the troubles.
Sky is actually having the most awkward 7-3 I think I've seen in a while, but she is getting through it safely and cleanly.
Hey, if it's alive, it's alive.
I know. With fire, no less.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're watching us from the Twitch front page, don't forget to drop on by. Just go ahead and click in the video player, or if you look up at the top corner and you see the name Skybills, go ahead and click right on that. It'll bring you over to our page. We've got a fun chat hanging out here watching this awesome race between 4 great Super Mario All-Stars players. Really the cream of the crop for this game. And if you want to come and hang out, we're raising money for St. Jude Play Live, St. Jude Children's Hospital. We're trying to raise, today alone, we're trying to raise $1,000 to unlock an incentive for Super Mario World. We want to see that. We want to see them either have fun if you're so inclined, or suffer if you're so inclined.
We actually already have over $400 of that 1,000 that we're looking to get.
Yeah, after J Dirk's donation of $20, which puts us over the 400 mark, says, need to make sure that SNES gets a good workout there tonight.
I mean, any SNES that has to play both these games is definitely doing its work. Rupert through 8-3. That's got to be first
with
try.
Fire Mario too.
It's over.
Yeah, Rupert is more or less home free. 8-4 is not a small feat. We might still see a little bit of trouble here, but Rupert is an old pro when it comes to this game, and 8-3 is really the big wall for a lot of players. You're dependent on the luck of the Hammer Bros. You made it through without any trouble, and that's exactly what you want to see in this situation.
Yeah, 8-4. Ooh, there we go.
So he takes a little hit, not a huge deal. At this point, the stage sort of normalizes a little bit, and the fire isn't going to make a huge difference anyway.
You want to talk about that Hammer Brother?
The Hammer Brother at the very end?
Yeah.
All right, so there's one.
I know there's A-Strap, but go ahead.
So there's a Hammer Brother right at the very end. You're going to see Rupert running off of the pipe, and then as soon as he hits the ground trying to jump, there's a good timing for it. I don't remember it. I'm not great at it, but there is a timing for lucking out with this Hammer Brother, and we'll see if Rupert can get it. Oh, he took a completely different strat. Play it safe, avoidance. Yeah. And so, Rupert is ready to move on straight to the next game. So we have our first person heading to the next game.
On the NES, you can, when you hit the ground, you can jump right at the Hammer Brother, and you will, like 99% of the time, get the stomp. On SNES, that is not the case, and that's why you saw Rupert do what he did there. I don't completely remember exactly how it works. Just, you know, go watch the VOD again and do what he did, because that's the strat.
So for the category All-Stars 4 Games Warpless, players get to choose whether or not they'd like to play Mario or Luigi on Lost Levels. That's part of the category, is getting to make that choice for yourself. A lot of players do choose Luigi. While he has more slippery physics and he doesn't accelerate to a run quite as quickly, he does have a considerably higher jump, which does make a lot of strats a lot easier. You're probably going to see Sky here choosing Luigi as well. I believe she plays Luigi.
She does.
You'll probably see Oglib and Lazo both playing Mario. Mario is, I would say, across most players, you would see Mario most common. He's technically faster because he approaches a run faster than the other characters do. But
the biggest thing with Mario, I feel like, for Lost Levels is you're playing a bunch of Mario games here, and usually you're kind of used to Mario physics, especially just coming out of Mario 1. Sticking with Mario at least like gives you a consistent set of physics, a consistent feeling. Luigi's big benefit, I think, like you were saying, just the high jumps, the farther jumps. It makes the game a lot easier, especially if it's what you're used to, like in the case of Sky.
I mean, when it comes to Luigi, a lot of the jumps that are in Lost Levels favor getting a little more distance. You know, for instance, several hidden blocks set up to reach a very high vantage point, whereas Luigi can probably make it in a smaller number of jumps. So Luigi definitely has a strong advantage, with the side effect that he doesn't reach a full run quite as fast. Which, right. In terms of a race scenario, if you're comfortable using Luigi, I would say in many ways he's the more consistent option.
Looks like Glib has gotten through. Sky's about to get through. Also hitting a bit of a wall here in 8-2. This shouldn't hold them up
8-2
too
and
long.
8-3 are both the hard levels in World 8. 8-2 is no joke, a lot of challenging placements of the enemies and long gaps that you have to make your way over, and 8-3 is Hammer Brothers, which on their own are enough to unsettle even the most confident Super Mario player. Also, looks like he's going to clean up 8-2 here, though. So we have 3 of our 4 players already into Lost Levels. Oglib did choose Luigi. I was wrong about that one. So we may be seeing 4 Luigis here.
I think we're going to see 4 Luigis, but I didn't want to like speak for Oglib, and it's been a very long time since I've seen them go, so shoutouts to Luigi. I mean, as much as I'll play as Mario 2 here for the consistency, everybody loves Luigi. He's the superior plumber. Everybody knows this.
Hopefully Losso's life situation's pretty good. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this version, All-Stars, follows the NES version's rules. If you game over, you go back to the beginning of the world. So I don't think Losso's really at risk of that, but it's definitely different than Lost Levels, whereas in Lost Levels, when you game over, you have to start the stage over. So
Losso was getting the 1-up in 8-2. I think it's a lot of people know about it. It's right over the springboard relatively early in the level.
Took an unfortunate hit in 2-2 in Lost Levels. Right there at the very end. You hate to see that happen.
Hate to see it happen.
That is not the sort of thing you want to see happen.
He's scaring me with some of these piranha jumps. Losso, to his credit, has actually built up the Fire Flower in 8-3, finding the 2 power-ups in the level, which is not easy fighting those Hammer Brothers to do.
But I think it's the right call. Getting that fire means that he can deal with the last 4 Hammer Brothers safely.
And, you were saying earlier, too, this is Sky's game, sort of Lost Levels. This is the game where if anybody is going to kind of dominate it and win the individual game race, it's probably actually Sky. Oglib beat... What was his head start in the Lost Levels over Sky? Maybe about, like, 30 seconds?
Something like that.
Well,
it wasn't massive.
Well, either way, it seems to be mostly gone. Sky may be slowing down a little bit here in 1-4, but I expect her to kind of speed up again in 2-1.
Taking her time with that Bowser, but probably the right call. Luigi can jump right over him, but why even risk it?
Rupert also going to go under Bowser, the 2-4 Bowser.
It's interesting. I feel like you don't as often see fire strats in Lost Levels. I feel like more often you see players, even players who favor the fire strats in SMB1, feel like you don't often see them taking fire strats in Lost Levels. And we see Oglib here at least making an effort to retain fire and keep it going.
Lost Levels, I feel like, is the game that kind of trains you to not worry about a Fire Flower and to just go. Losso is going to get through Mario 1 here. Looks like we've got a race so far, so that's one game gone. If you wanted to see everybody play Mario World later, we're sitting here at $415 for St. Jude's. We need to see 1,000 if you want to see Mario World later. I want to see it. I want to see it. Author Blues, I think, wants to force people to play it. Either way, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I want to call that so that I can laugh at the suffering.
I think you just want to have to see Butterbridge, but
Oglib takes a moment, says, "I think I'm going to get that poison mushroom," and then he says, "You know what? No. I was going to give myself a handicap, give the other players a chance," but he says, "You know what? Never mind. I'm back in it."
Oglib's such a nice guy. Rupert having some fun with the fish there. It doesn't really work out well when you're swimming in a Mario game. Like you were saying earlier, the water levels in these two games are both, they're really just evil. Lots of enemies that you really can't do anything about. No power-ups. It's kind of go to the right and hope for the best. Hope that your random spawns of cheeps are good. They're just not fun.
This whole game is just You know how some games are described as a love letter to something? I feel like this game could best be described as hate mail to the players.
This is Kaizo Mario before there was Kaizo Mario. It's actual official Kaizo Mario.
Rob Draven gave us another $20 to St. Jude. Remember that we're not seeing any of that. That's going directly to St. Jude when you donate via Tiltify. We really appreciate that. We're just a little bit closer. We're now looking at another $565. So,
if you are here on the Skybells channel's page, there should be a nice big St. Jude button right under the stream. If you're wondering how you can help out, just head over there.
We'll also shorten that jump just a little bit. Rupert is on this puzzle castle. It doesn't look like a puzzle castle, but it's a puzzle castle.
I believe it's been said when you're in the puzzle castles in this game and you're thinking, which way do I go? The answer is always, what is the absolute worst way to go? And, well, that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Also,
when we describe to new players how to navigate the puzzle castles, there's a set pattern for SMB1, but you don't even have to teach anyone the patterns for SMB2. You just tell them, go which way looks like you'd least likely to want to go.
I do want to point out Lasso actually taking Red Mario.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even notice. How did I miss that?
We've both just been following the rest of the race so far. Just forgot about it.
Yeah, so you'll notice that whereas last time we mentioned the comparison, Oglib had definitely pulled ahead of Sky. Sky grabbed it back. She's now in second in this race. You know, it's going to be a struggle for any of these players to keep up with Rupert. Let me point that out from the beginning. Rupert is a world-class speedrunner and definitely in the top tier of players of All-Stars. But Sky is definitely no slouch herself, and she is keeping in time with him pretty well. I'm actually really interested in seeing what happens with SMB2. I would probably argue that SMB2 is Sky's weakest game. Not that she's bad at it, but of the four, it's probably her weakest one. So I'm interested in seeing how our placements swap as we go along.
I'm not sure how good anyone's Mario 2 US time is in this, honestly. I don't know if does Rupert have a good time in it, or
Rupert's fantastic at all four of them. I mean, his PB in the all four warpless category is within 10 minutes of the world record. So in that ballpark at least.
And like 10 minutes across, like hours of gameplay, and obviously 3 different sets of physics. 4 if you're using Luigi like they are. And like 3-3 and 4-3 are starting to kind of like they're the chasm platforming levels of the Mario 1,
Sky
Mario
making
2
it look easy,
series. Yeah, they're both making it look easy. Luigi just kind of glides over all these gaps. It's almost unfair sometimes, especially because 4-3 has a jump that I believe if Mario gets there at the wrong time, it's just not happening. That Koopa's not going to let you pass. And just these castle level jumps right here for Rupert.
You saw Oglib going through the water level in this stage, and if you've been paying attention to the water levels and lost levels, you can see what I was talking about from earlier. The water levels are already really unpleasant in the Super Mario Bros. Series. But it's just amplified in Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. It's just way more chaotic, lots more enemies, more up and down, less just progressing to the goal. So
I do want to say a thank you to the John Carls, who actually donated $10 to the cause here. $10 for this absolutely lit commentary. Go Sky. And another $5 from Oasis. Another $5 because who doesn't want Super Mario cereal?
yeah, so one of the prizes, if you donate money on the given day, we have prizes to give out for each day. So donating, I don't remember how much it is. Someone in chat can remind me. You have to donate a certain amount to get an entry into the raffles. But the prize for today, at least the main one, is Super Mario cereal. I've got the list here. I can pull up to see.
Do we have nutrition facts on that, or is it is a collectible, isn't it?
A little bit. So the prize for today, the prizes for today are a signed Mario All-Stars cart, Super Mario cereal, and we have a lot of boxes of the Super Mario cereal to be giving out over the week. So if you miss out on it and you're really thinking to yourself, oh man, I really would love to have some Super Mario cereal, don't worry, just keep coming back. It can happen eventually. We've also got a TwitchCon pin, Fireflower Perler. We've got some beautiful perlers to give out over the course of the whole week. There's some really great ones that have been donated or commissioned, depending on which ones. The one for today is a Fireflower Perler, and then also a St. Jude large-sized mouse pad. So we've got lots of really great items to be giving out, and all you've got to do is donate to get in on that.
Yeah, I'm seeing the reliable voices in chat here tell us that it's $10 to get in these drawings. So
the cart that we're giving out is actually Super Mario All-Stars, not Mario Collection.
is it just All-Stars and not the With Mario World?
Correct. It's the standard All-Stars cart, the US version of it. So if you're looking to speedrun it, a lot of people speedrun on the collection cart. It's a very small difference between them. So if that matters to you, that's what I'm making you aware of. But it is the All-Stars cart. It's signed by Darbian at least. I know it has a signature from Darbian. I don't remember what other signatures are on it. But, I mean, you've got Darbian's signature there, so...
That's most of what you need, and then everybody else. Oh, man. Oh, man, Rupert with these jumps underneath the high platform.
Hey,
High 4 is a scary level.
It really is. You've got the high Potaboo positions, but it still somehow doesn't feel like enough clearance.
It never is. And, I mean, the fact that Rupert's there and he's kind of still on this pace about one world ahead of everybody else, actually a little more than that now, you're going to see it when Sky,
his lead.
When Sky and Glib get to 5-3, you're going to see one of the kind of weirdest levels in sort of a quote-unquote NES Mario game, since you have to take a bonus room pipe to get to the exit. And there is no midway at that point just because of a quirk in the game's engine. So getting through that level is always kind of the wall of this game. 5-3, just a bad level. Rupert making it look easy.
Rupert makes all of these levels look easy. This level in particular is one of the earlier ones that introduces wind. And he's just not slowing down. A lot of players take it a little bit easy once the wind kicks in. The physics change pretty significantly, and so sometimes takes players a few seconds to get acclimated to it. Rupert's just powering through it, doesn't even care.
Well, I mean, the other good thing there, too, right? That was a good example of Luigi physics at work. There were some piranha plants at the other end of chasms near the end of that level, and Luigi just floating right over them. Mario probably would have been stomping right into a piranha plant's teeth, and that usually doesn't end well.
Sky taking it through 5-1. She just cleared 4-4, which we see Oglib working on right now. That's how close this race still is. Oglib taking a little dip into the tomato soup. No big deal.
Corners of platforms will do that.
And you can see, if you watch Sky's side, she really takes advantage of Luigi's physics a lot. So, for instance, there was a spot there where piranha plants were blocking her way, but she just jumped over the entire set of pipes. Who cares? Who needs them? Get out of here.
What are we playing as, Red Luigi?
Exactly. Who needs it?
Do we have a jump? Oglib,
no! He tried to do the item jump. There's a trick you can do where if you let go of the jump button before you touch a power-up and then press it while you're transforming, you actually get a jump in midair. But I think he might have mistimed it a little bit. That's the only way I can see him going for that, was to try doing the item jump.
That was the only way, especially with kind of the clunky jump physics of Mario 1 and Mario 2J. I don't think there's really a difference between the two engines, or at least not that much of one.
Between playing as Mario on both games?
Yeah, let's go with that.
So there is a little bit of a difference between the physics. It's some small things that you probably wouldn't notice. Things like ramp up time, jump heights, some pretty minor things that if you're not a speedrunner of the game, you're probably not going to notice. Luigi's physics are very different in his hang time in midair, his run speed, things like that. That's where you really notice the difference. And for a lot of players, you might even imagine that they picked Luigi because it allows them to make a full switch, whereas the difference between Mario and the two games is very subtle and might lead to some problems mentally. Luigi is just such a different player entirely that you can separate them completely.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference kind of between the two games is more it's that stomp height almost you get in this game. You get a much higher jump off of killing an enemy than you do
Also,
in the original.
trying to remember the puzzle castle solution.
I know.
I see him here. He needs to stay high at the very beginning. That's the issue he's having at this point, but
He's got to stay low the whole way.
oh yeah, that's right. This is the one where it's stay on the...
Because that's the worst path, especially because it basically requires you to take damage.
Right.
Like, the game won't even let you keep fire.
There you go. Lasso's done with it. Now he needs to stay on the top path, but we'll be taking it back around. Taking the loop back around. It can be very difficult, especially if you haven't been playing this a whole lot lately. It can be difficult to remember all of the puzzle castle solutions. All the castles end up sort of blending together. They look very samey. Even remembering which ones are puzzle castles and which ones aren't can be a little bit of a challenge. But Lasso struggles through it, and he makes it through. He's done now.
I think part of it, too, like Mario 1, we all played when we were, like, very young. Probably not as much of a difference as we get further into the years, but everyone here pretty much probably played on the NES for the first game, and now, you know, hasn't played Lost Levels nearly as much. It's just one of those things over time. Rupert, in kind of the second of these, bet you have to take the bonus room kind of stages. It's possible to get fire for the second half of this. He's just going to keep going small like he's been doing. Second half of the stage, I really hate it because there's Lakitu chasing you the whole time, and it's you'll see it's not a happy place, this stage.
Yeah, so Rupert's on the bonus room level, which is 7-2, and Oglib's on a bonus room level, 5-3. So they're both taking on that challenge at the same time. You can see them side by side. The second half of 7-2 is a real big issue for a lot of players, and Rupert just made short work of it, no problem. Here you can see exactly what I was talking about. A lot of players like Sky here, she took a little bit of time when the wind kicks in. You really don't want to play it too aggressive if you don't feel comfortable with exactly the way it's going to change your physics. So she took it a little bit easy there just to make sure that she was going to be able to make it through.
Yeah, just a lot of unforgiving Piranha Plant placements, both in 6-1 and 4-2. Also kind of running into some trouble here with that Hammer Brother.
Hey, if you're watching us from the Twitch front page, first off, welcome and thanks for tuning in for Play Live for St. Jude. We're raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital over the next 2 weeks, so make sure you come back if you're just here right now from the front page. But in addition to that, you know, feel free to come by the channel. If you click on the channel or you click on Sky's name on the front page, I am not Skybills, by the way. Skybills is playing the game and not talking. But if you're on the front page and you click through, you can come by and hang out in the chat. We got a lot of fun people hanging on, cheering on these runners, cheering on their favorite racers. So make sure you come on through.
There's that Paracupa in 4-3 I was talking about with Lasso there. Mario just... That
Rupert
jump
just
is
jumped right
not as
through a
much
platform.
fun.
Rupert just jumped right through one of those moving platforms. I've never seen that before. Nice
Haven't
physics.
you figured out by now that like Rupert has complete disregard for the laws of physics?
Rupert doesn't care. He just does what he wants to do.
Why did we allow him in the race?
I don't know. Rupert is just doing fantastic at Lost Levels. This is such a challenging game. And this really just goes to show Rupert's strength in all four warpless. You know, he's a good friend of ours. You know, all four of these runners are good, close friends of Sky's and all of ours. And Rupert is just on another level entirely. The only way we could have messed up the spread worse was to invite Darbian. Rupert had a little bit of trouble with that Bowser. He ended up getting locked in, and that's really not his fault. That Bowser throws hammers, which means you have to stay close to him. But if he doesn't jump, he can push you into the fire bar. There's really no way to guarantee that you make it through that Bowser safely. It's random, and if you don't know what frame rule you're on, which these runners are not playing at the level where they are sticking to a consistent frame rule, there's just no way to guarantee what patterns you're going to get. There
is a power-up hidden in 7-4 early on, but there's a lot of tight jumps here. Many of them, you're kind of trying to get into 3-tile high gaps. And the game has a bad habit of making Super
There we
Mario
go.
or Super
There we
Luigi just
go.
not get onto the platform at the end of those
He
jumps.
had to bail out. He bailed out, backed off. He made the exact right call that you want to make in that situation. Not playing it risky, just being patient. He wouldn't have had an opening any earlier anyway, so being patient was the right play.
I do want to give shout-outs to Slice Mage for the $10 donation he gave us a little earlier. I gotta pay the Sky bills. I see what he did there.
Oh.
With the speedrunning skills, donate to kids. He does add or else. I'm not sure I want to follow up on that yet.
I'm not sure what the or else means. I feel like there's a lot to unpack there, and I'm not really prepared to handle that at this time. Who is he threatening? Is he threatening us? Is he threatening the viewers? Don't threaten the viewers. We shouldn't do
I
that.
guess it's the commentators. I don't know.
Now I'm worried for my life. I'm checking out the window. Everything looks clear.
We love you, Slice Mage.
Lasso having some issues with this Bowser as well. This Bowser has made the smart decision to put up a wall right in front of himself. Why let someone just jump over your head? If they want to come by, they can go under like everyone else.
Sky making that 6-4 jump that has killed me as Mario I don't know how many times. Shouts to Luigi.
So Rupert managed to maintain his lead very, very securely, which is, I mean, I can't keep the praise on Rupert enough, but Sky showing what I was pointing out, you know, she's the favorite if we're willing to ignore Rupert for a second. She's definitely a super strong Lost Levels player. She has speedrun this game by itself quite a lot. She feels comfortable and confident with her ability in the game. If you guys know Sky Bills, if you don't, I'll clue you in. She really just does not get rusty. She can play a game, put it down for 4 years, and come back and still be exactly at the same level.
Scary consistency.
Yeah, she's well regarded in a lot of communities, tournaments, races as being hyper consistent. And while she may not always be the fastest, woe be unto those who make small mistakes ever.
Definitely. Rupert, as we've also said, kind of the generalist here, the specialist in Mario 1, also obviously showing off some great Lost Level skills here. Glib and Lasso on the right of your screens, kind of our Mario 3 runners in the bunch. They might look like they're a little behind right now, but just wait till we get to Mario 3 at the end of this set.
Yeah, I would say that I don't expect Rupert to take a big hit versus Oglib and Lazo, but Sky is a respected SMB3 player all on her own. But I would say that of these players, you know, she's really stacked up a bunch of players to play against that outclass her at least a little bit in SMB3. Though to her credit, and very much to her benefit at the end of the day, all of these players are certainly most confident on the NES version, which differs heavily from the SNES version. So they're all playing at that handicap. Oglib's trying to get power-ups in this level. We talked earlier about how the prudent and smart player will not slow down in the cheap bridges. And Oglib is showing exactly why that is. You slow down, you make mistakes, you get hit. Rupert now heading into SMB2 US, so proper Super Mario Bros. 2. He's going to be doing a lot of sequence breaks. Every single stage allows you to choose your character, so we're going to be seeing a lot of different characters across the board. And I think by and large, you'll actually see a pretty consistent choice of characters. There is a more or less right answer for every single level. A few characters are dependent on what strats you want to do, and so we may see some variance there. We may see some of our players, Sky included, picking Peach a little more often. She's safer but slower. Whereas Rupert, I expect to probably be going all in on the most aggressive strats. Toad as often as possible, Luigi for his advanced jump height, and Mario does make an appearance in at least one level typically because of how well-rounded he is as a player.
Yeah, most of the stages you're going to see, wow, most of the stages you're going to see Toad and Luigi. Rupert accidentally selecting Mario there. I feel a little better about what I was about to say now. One of the differences in in the All-Stars version of the game is actually that if you take a death in a level, you can change your character selection, which you can't do on the NES version. Rupert
so we saw Rupert right there doing the carpet glitch. If you jump on a carpet and then respawn another one, that second carpet will go unbelievably fast. And so he needed to get that second carpet and make use of it before its timer ran out, and he made it all the way to the boss door. Fantastic strats.
That's what you want to see there. That's one of the great advantages of Toad. As long as Toad's carrying an enemy, his run speed is faster than anybody else's. He actually runs faster with an enemy than he does without anything at all.
Right. Yeah, he's the only character in the game who runs faster holding an item, and for him, that's the strat. For Toad, it's absolutely get something in hand so that you can run faster. Here we see Lazo working on 5-3, an incredibly challenging stage in Lost Levels. Sky has already made it into World 8, which Luigi has a significant advantage in versus Mario. So hopefully we're going to see Sky make relatively short work of World 8. Oglib is in World 7. This is still a pretty close race. Lost Levels is not really the deciding factor, though it's very easy to end up losing a lot of time just getting stuck on something in this game. It has a tendency to snowball in that way.
Yeah, Sky, I know, often will say that like her main category for Lost Levels is actually sort of the any % category, which isn't to say she's bad at all at the rest of the game, but World 8 is definitely very familiar to her. So yeah, I expect her to blaze a trail through World 8 compared to even like World 6 and 7.
So we saw Rupert here working on the Mauser fight. Mauser throws bombs at you, but if you bring him back to him, he takes 3 hits to end the level. Wonder if Rupert's playing on the 1.0 collection with fast pausing, because you can do a skip right at the end of every boss fight if you want to go for it. I imagine he probably just doesn't go for it. Why waste the time if you think you might miss it? Here we're going to have a long run of levels in a row with Toad. Toad just runs so much faster. If you watch a speedrun of this game, you'll get very used to seeing a lot of Toad. In addition to running faster, in World 2, there's a lot of stages where you're digging, and he's the fastest digger, so...
By far. Your run speed's also the same as your dig speeds. It's Toad, Mario, Luigi, Peach from fastest to slowest. That's the main reason you don't see a lot of Peach in the speedrun unless you basically need that float ability that she has, which lets her, along with Luigi in the high jumps, kind of cross other gaps characters may have a little more trouble with. Rupert escaping that Shy Guy.
Yeah, just barely. Yeah, there's very few stages where Peach is necessarily the best character for, but she's always a good character for every level. She's slow, but she's incredibly safe.
Yeah, Peach just being able to platform everything, and I think with no items, everyone has at least a similar run speed. It's just that when you're carrying something, the other characters start getting progressively much slower.
Sky's
Toad is definitely
cleaning up Lost Levels. This is, I mean, as Mr. Cab mentioned correctly, this is Sky's wheelhouse. Being in World 8 of Lost Levels is like being home. You see her playing things much more aggressively than you've seen the rest of the game, and there's a perfectly good reason for that. She's comfortable, she plays this game at an incredibly high level, and so for World 8, she's not afraid to play aggressive.
No, getting past the fake Bowser, really the last pit there, she's home free. Yeah,
she has the power up, she's just going to take the hit. And she's moving on now to SMW2 US. Only like 1.5 worlds behind Rupert. Not that bad. We're looking at maybe a 3 to 5 minute difference at this point, which into our third game is really not that bad, especially considering Rupert having such an advanced PB and advanced strats in so many of these games.
So I think we do want to remind everybody that if we are raising money for St. Jude's Play Live. Everything that you might donate to us here during this stream goes straight to them. We don't see a cent of it. And we do have We have several incentives here. I think I'll let Oglib list all of them in a moment, but I do want to at least shout out that if we hit $1,000 during this very race, and we're up to 460 already, we're going to make everybody have a Mario World race right after this. So if you want to see more Mario, now's the time to get those donations in.
I think Oglib's a little busy with the race, but I think I'll plug some of these prizes. We've got a signed All-Stars cart. We've got Mario cereal, the first of many, many, many boxes to be given out. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, that Mario cereal sounded really good, but I just didn't get an opportunity or didn't care to get my hands on it, here's your chance. It's cereal. It lasts forever, plus highly collectible. There's a TwitchCon pin. There's a Fireflower Perler. We've got a lot of really wonderful perlers throughout the entire marathon. A few really gorgeous commission ones, a few wonderful donated ones, just a lot of really cool stuff. And then we've got a large St. Jude mouse pad, and all you got to do is donate $10 to get an entry into that. So $10 a day, that's all it takes to get into the prizes for that day. You heard the list of prizes I mentioned. That was just for day one, and we have a list pretty much that long for every single day. So
wow.
So if you want to get in on this, definitely come back and check it out.
Rupert almost at the end of World 2 here. He's going to get to fight Triclyde in just a moment. A little unfortunate that he's entering the room as Small Toad, since I believe the fastest strat for this fight involves a little bit of a damage boost. But he's going to kind of do an alternate version of it here. The mushroom blocks always hit once. If you can get this, I believe that's a tweeter, off the wall, every hop will do more damage as opposed to if you threw it directly into Triclyde.
I really appreciate your dedication to getting the names of the enemies right.
Honestly, that one I mostly remember simply because of, well, modern websites. Oglib can't wait right there, jumping through the hammers in 7-4.
He says, I don't need to wait. I've got places to be.
Wow. The hammers hitboxes from Bowser in the first two Mario games can be kind of questionable whether or not they actually function properly, but still it's always risky kind of deciding to YOLO it and jump right through them.
Yeah, I think there's like enough space in memory for 5 hammer hitboxes, so once there's 5 hammers on screen, any hammers that are thrown before those go off screen don't have a hitbox, so players can use that to their advantage if they're feeling lucky.
Do want to say thank you to Neon Lemonade with a $10 donation. Go Booper go.
Absolutely.
Rupert entering the Peach stage. This stage kind of has this underground segment, and the game wants you to kind of go up and down and up and down. There are some of these segments that are not separated, though, by walls, but are separated kind of by large pits, like this one right here.
Sky going for the pause strats, trying to see if she can get the skip on the... There she goes. She got it. I wonder whether or not all those pauses maybe lost more time than just letting the cutscene play out, but she definitely got the skip.
I think she got at least 20% of the time.
Yeah, so there's a little fanfare that plays, but if you pause at the right time, you can open the door even through the fanfare.
The other thing that Rupert did in 3-2 was there's a trick here that's like the ladder jump, the vine jump, that you can kind of jump a couple of frames after you pop off a vine in this game. And you can use that to kind of, much like in the original Mario Brothers, everybody runs along the top of 1-2. You can get on top of the level if there's a ceiling here in Mario 2 US. So Rupert taking advantage of that there to skip a lot of the level. That's not the last time you're going to see that glitch. So
it's a really useful trick in a lot of rooms, especially as we get closer to the end of the game. You can skip most of the levels by going over the tops of the stages. Here you're seeing Rupert playing as Mario for the first time, and only time. This is the only stage where Mario really has any advantage, and it's really just because of how well-rounded he is. He has a good jump height to allow him to do this trick right here, which is a little sequence break. And then in addition to that, because it's primarily going up and down, Mario's run speed isn't quite as big of an issue. So just being able to jump confidently is enough.
Yeah, Mario's jump height, I believe, is about a tile higher than Toad's jump height. So anybody can kind of accomplish this route, but especially like right here, there's going to be a few jumps where Mario is able to kind of make a run jump up. Toad wouldn't be able to do that. He'd have to do like the ducking super jump. Luigi and Peach are just slower characters overall. So like you said, Mario is well-rounded, and this is the stage that calls for it. Glib has made it into 8-4 in Lost Levels.
Lasso is actually employing an interesting strat here.
He hit right!
Yeah, he made the mistake. So interestingly, in Lost Levels, if you're standing right against the edge of the screen, facing off screen, the hammer hitboxes won't hurt you. And if you stick to that and just play patiently while they charge you down, you can actually mitigate the problem of the hammer bros quite a lot. Also tired of waiting. He says, no thank you. I'm done with this.
Sky actually getting that mushroom block to kind of bounce in front of Birdo, take an egg so it keeps bouncing, and that actually ends up with Birdo taking a double hit, clearing the level that way.
Quick reminder, if you're watching from the front page of Twitch, you can click through, clicking on the stream or clicking on Skybills' name will bring you over to the channel. We are raising money for St. Jude, for the Play Live St. Jude campaign. We're raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. We are trying to raise $15,000 over the course of the next several weeks, with a stretch goal of $22,000. But our goal for today specifically is if we reach $1,000, all of these players, once this race is over, are going to wrap up, reset up, and we're going to play a race of Super Mario World. So if you're a big fan of Super Mario World and you're thinking, wow, all of these really great SNES Mario games, not even Super Mario World, you can make that happen. It's up to you. And in addition to that, in addition to donating to see Super Mario World, which we'd love to see you do, in addition to that, $10 minimum, you can get entered into a really great raffle of prizes we've got going on here. We've got a lot of really great things going on, a long list of items being raffled off just for today, and we've got a laundry list of items to be given out over the next 2 weeks, so definitely come and check it out.
Yeah, get in on this. It's a great event. We're going to have a lot of fun. You don't want to miss any of it. I think Rupert's stage there demands me to say something about Whales of Attachment. They're all right there.
Yeah, there are Whales of Attachment.
I'm ruining the joke. One thing he did do there, definitely, in Mario 2 US, if you get 5 cherries, Star will spawn in the level. You saw kind of, it took 3 cherries there on the last screens. That might not be the best scenario for Rupert, but he does make it through there, knocking out Birdo with the invincibility, kind of getting a quick kill.
So this guy didn't go for the tweeter strat on Triclide, but she did get the cutscene skip. Still a lot of pauses to get there, but ultimately probably saved at least a tiny bit.
Also, while we were doing that, Oglib made it through Lost Levels, and he's trying to figure out how to do a duck jump against the ladder here. The characters might shrink in size, but not in hitbox in this game. Kind of a artifact of the original Doki Doki Panic. And also during this sort of whirlwind of activity on the screen, Rupert kind of just jumping over to the right a little further than maybe the game designers might have intended, and turns out the ball store is right there. Don't have to play this really long, winding stage that effectively involves a Shy Guy escort mission.
We're also seeing Rupert here doing the more aggressive, faster strats on Fry Guy. This fight can really get away from you. The fewer of the little Fry Guy babies you have left, the faster they start to move around. But the initial Fry Guy kill, the one that separates them out, there's a very practiced and timed out method for killing him quickly, and that's what we saw there from Rupert.
Oglib there making use of Luigi's jump to kind of get through 1-2 quickly. That's one of the nice things I think about just the variety of character abilities in this game. Sometimes it might not be the fastest strat, but you can get another fast strat out of a different character.
So we got Rupert here in 5-1, picking up the extra life. There's a few extra lives in this level. There's one that's very easy to collect, and he's taking the opportunity. Why pass up on it? It doesn't look like he has any intention of taking any scheduled game overs. Took a little death there. He was actually trying to use Luigi's invincibility frame. So we talked a little bit about Toad being the fastest character to dig. That mechanic is how much time it takes you to pick up an item. So Toad is very fast at picking up items. Luigi's actually the slowest at picking up items. And so you can use Luigi's very slow pickup, which he's invulnerable during, to actually allow a fireball to go right through him.
I could swear it was Peach, but I know they're definitely the two slowest, and they're
it might be.
They're not.
It might be the Peaches a little bit slower.
Definitely not characters you want in World 2 either way.
Right. Yeah, it might be Peaches slower, but Luigi has that well-roundedness in that level because he can do the jumps and he has a slow pickup. So we've got 2 more donations. We've got Leaky Yet Whole with $5 saying Go Sky, and Jogomo donated $10 saying let's get that Super Mario World, guys. So thanks so much for all of your support. Thanks for your donations. As we've mentioned a few times already, all of this money is going directly to St. Jude, not in the typical sense where you say we're going to pass all the money along. We never actually end up seeing any of it. This is donated directly to St. Jude. So we actually see Sky entering that door and coming right back out. You might think that that was a mistake or something, but entering that door actually sets her checkpoint. So if she makes any mistakes in this room, anything goes wrong, which with all of these fire shooters, it's not too hard to have things go a little bit pear-shaped. In this case, that's going to mean that she's going to have the availability to reset from that point rather than the bottom of the room.
Yeah, all the checkpoints in Mario 2U, basically the last sort of screen entry you did. So just in and out of that door really quick, resetting the checkpoint, not losing too much time. It's a great safety. Danimal76 donates $10 and says, let's go, with a plethora of exclamation points. Thank you for your exclamation points. Your excitement is our excitement. I need to tell you that. Your excitement is our excitement. I'm excited.
So we have 3 of our players in Super Mario Bros. 2. Lazo is still cleaning up Lost Levels. If you've never played Lost Levels, first off, I recommend that you do it because it really teaches you a lot of patience that a lot of people lack. But World 8 is just terrible. World 8 all around is just an awful world. It's a huge roadblock. I remember the first time I ever played Lost Levels, I tried to do a race of it with some friends. It took me 1 hour to beat this level by itself, 8-1.
8-1, especially with Mario, because you saw Lasso kind of miss some of the Paracoopas there. 8-1 is just evil. It is.
It's a stage that definitely favors Luigi as well, which he's the only one who didn't play as Luigi. He made a calculated decision to rely on physics he was already familiar with, but Luigi does make this stage and many others a lot easier, and so.
He is working on it. Rupert again using that super speed carpet here to kind of get further across this gap faster. I feel like he didn't get as far as he could have, despite what I just said, but obviously still making up some time there.
In terms of the players that we have here, we're probably looking at, if I had to guess, I think Oglib is the strongest of the 4 for SMB3, with Lazo and Rupert both being pretty close in skill. I'd say Rupert might even be at the same level as Oglib, and then Sky right behind. And that is to say that these other players are very strong. Sky is herself an incredibly accomplished SMB3 player. So we're going to see this lead, maybe even not the lead, but see a lot of these placements maybe move around a little bit, become closer. It still stands to be an incredibly interesting race as we go forward.
Yeah, Sky and Roop kind of working to build up as much of a lead as they can going into Mario 3 before they have to deal with basically the strong games for Glib and Lasso. Rupert looking pretty good. It's far from over right now, but he is into World 6 of Mario 2U.
Yeah, Sky's working on World 4. She's not far behind herself. It's actually kind of impressive when you think about what a commanding lead Rupert has had, just being such an impressive player. And she's still only 2 worlds behind him. She entered this game being about a world and a half behind him, and now I'd say that she's approximately 2 worlds behind him. That's still pretty impressive. I would say, by and large, SMB2 is everyone's weakest game, with Rupert still standing to be the strongest in this game.
Now up against these the green Birdos. If you haven't been paying attention, the game starts with pink Birdos. They only shoot 1 egg at a time slowly. You move on to the red ones that mix in fireballs. The green ones only shoot fireballs. So as you get later in the game, Birdos just a little more annoying to kill, knock out, and move on to the next level.
Looks like we got another $25 from Corneloo, saying Sky and Off are the best. Thank you so much for your donation and for the praise, I guess.
I guess. You know what I do want to thank Corneloo for? That puts us over $500.
Oh my goodness.
Which, besides being awesome that we're over $500 just overall anyway, that also puts us halfway to that incentive to play Super Mario World after this race. Adding another game in there. Lasso with the clip.
Lasso just showing off at this point. He says, you know what? I may not be making it there fast, but I'm going to make it there in style.
So just to finish that thought, you have until the end of this race. If we can get up to $1,000, it looks like we might have another 10 sitting there now. But if we had $1,000 before the end of the race, more Mario is on the way.
Yeah, it looks like we got another $10 from Bumcow. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. It's all going directly to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for the St. Jude Play Live campaign. We appreciate your donations. Keep them coming. We really want to see Super Mario World tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. All 4 of these players know what they're doing in Super Mario World, and it should be a really good time to see all the struggles and the challenges as well.
I do want to point out Rupert, while we were plugging things, actually got through 6-2 kind of the fast way.
Oh, did he do the jump strat? I was so focused on.
Strat. I know.
Oh, no. We missed it.
6-2 is a level you're supposed to kind of fly on one of the birds, the albatrosses, and kind of really slowly go over that gap. And Rupert was having none of that. Doesn't care at all for what the developers thought he should do on that stage and just jumps over the whole thing. How much does Rupert care about the developers off?
I would say that he cares very little. Who cares?
I mean, look at 6-3. This stage, you're supposed to maybe know about that almost dev door to the right under the quicksand. He's jumping over it using a potion that bounces off of walls.
Yeah, Rupert's really showing how much work he has put into these games over the years. If there's anything Rupert's known for, it's the Mario Brothers series. I mean, this is his wheelhouse. This is the games that he has speedrun since he started speedrunning. And he's just incredibly accomplished, even at Super Mario Bros. 2, which I would argue most players don't really give a lot of attention to. But he's pulling off all the hard tricks, all the fun tricks, all the cool stuff. I mean, he's got it all.
I was scared during that Triclide fight, but he did it.
So we're definitely not going to see Sky doing the 6-2 strat. I know that she doesn't do that strat. Right now she's still on 5-2, but when we get there, it'll be interesting to see whether or not our other players feel comfortable doing it, because I know that at least all 3 players, Sky, Oglib, and Lazo, I know all 3 of them are at least familiar with the 6-2 strat, but it's going to be interesting to see who among them feels confident enough to try it in a race like this.
I feel like there are people who learn the any percent category for this game, and they learn that as part of it. And except for the rare warpless runner of this game,
there you saw Oglib jumping over the ceiling by jumping off of the ladder. If you are holding onto a ladder, you have a 1-frame window to jump off of the ladder to go over a wall. That 1-frame window is extended slightly if you're playing as Luigi. You can hold up and whatever direction you want to walk off the ladder at the same time, and it extends to a 3-frame window. But it is nonetheless very difficult to pull off. So
Sky dodging some eggs here. Making it, though.
Rupert is into 7-2, the final stage of Super Mario Bros. 2 US. And this stage should be extremely long and challenging. There's a lot of convoluted movement going through these towers, up and down, going outside briefly, going back inside, coming back down another tower. Screw all that. Rupert's just going to jump over the ceiling and head straight to the end. So let's see if he can get that jump off the chain, and he does. And he's going to drop in on an unsuspecting Birdo. What's up? How you doing?
This guy's also going to grab that safety health here in 5-3, making the clog rib fight a little easier.
Clog lip.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were going to go there on this stream. It is definitely clog lip.
Yeah, so the credits for SMB2 have a few typos in them. We love you, Nintendo. They had a few typos. So the boss of World 5 is called Clog Glip instead of Clog Grip. And two of the enemy names are actually reversed. So Birdo is called Ostro in the credits, and Ostro is called Birdo. Here we've got Rupert taking on Wart. Wart's a very different boss than what we see in a lot of Mario games. He's unique to this game on its own. It's actually a really challenging fight to do efficiently. Getting those vegetables into his open mouth before they close and trying to get it one vegetable per cycle. So ideally, you are able to get a vegetable into his mouth to despawn it before the vegetable machine tries to spit out its next vegetable. It's challenging, but he pulls it off, and he is now finished up with SMB2 US and will be heading into SMB3 with a fairly sizable lead. The next closest competitor is Sky, cleaning up World 5 right now, so two world leads still, two worlds and some change. Oglib is what? This is World 3? I'm trying to just remember.
Yes, Oglib is wrapping up the World 3 Mauser. And Lasso, I missed the end of 8-4. He didn't really heck up, and he's in 1-1 of Mario 2.
So Slice Mage drops another tenor on us, saying, "I've never heard such handsome commentary. Shoutouts to Authn Cab and New Baby Cablet. Donate to kids, or else do not disappoint me." So, a donation and a threat, a twofer for you. I'm still curious about that or else. I don't want to test him on it, but I would like to know, for the sake of science, what the or else is pertaining to.
Let's hope we don't find out. We're slowly getting closer to that $1,000 stretch goal here for tonight. Rupert is starting to take care of business in World 1 of Mario 3, already through the first two stages. Looking to get this sort of fast takeoff to get the whistle here in the fortress. We're not going to be warping at all in Mario 3, but it is faster to claim the warp whistle out of this fortress than to beat the stage going through to Boom Boom.
And now he has to just hope he doesn't ever blow the whistle accidentally.
That is always, especially in a really, really long race like this, that... Everybody knows somebody who has gotten to Bowser's Castle and accidentally used that warp whistle.
Who among us has not?
It's not good. It's not pretty. We usually don't talk about it, but it does happen.
Rupert making easy work of these levels. We've been talking up this whole time about Oglib and Lasso SMB3 being their strongest game. But Rupert is just in another class of his own. He's an incredibly accomplished SMB3 runner of his own merit. And then on top of that, he's well practiced in playing the Lost Levels versions because he does run 4 games warpless pretty constantly. You'll find a lot of players who are comfortable with the Bros games don't really feel very comfortable with the NES game or with the SNES games, and it's the NES games that they're really most familiar with. But Rupert is not afraid to play any of them. Sky here taking a leisurely vacation on the Albatross. This is the intended way to do this stage, though if you really look carefully at the enemy placements and how Luigi's jumps can make it between gaps of enemies. You'd almost think that was the intended strat.
Also, getting that pause strat at the end of 1-3.
So here Oglib's going to be trying to get this star. It's going to spawn for him. Ideally, he'd be able to grab this star and get all the way to Birdo. This is one of the few spots in this game where it's fairly straightforward to get a Birdo kill with the star, and he pulls it off. So fantastic work to Oglib. We've got Rupert on his first auto-scroller as well.
It is possible to get a star kill here in 2-1 where Lasso is. Takes a lot more sort of forethought to make sure you get here with the right sort of cherry setup.
And in addition to that, even if you do get the star, it can be very difficult to get it all the way to Birdo. So you'll see a lot of these runners, Rupert included, didn't even go for it because the setup for it can be extremely challenging.
Oglib, again, is in 4-3 right now. That stage that we mentioned earlier, it's possible to just kind of skip over everything. So there's the entrance to the level. There's the exit from the level. Don't go in that door. It's locked even if you kind of go through it from the unlocked side. Easy stage. And Rupert is already, like he said he was on the auto-scroller. He's already out of that auto-scroller. Larry's airship, not exactly a long one.
The second Triclide fight is without a doubt the harder of the two. And this fight can go really wrong really easily. There she took her shot on that one. Fantastic work.
There is a strat there where you can kind of use those mushroom blocks defensively. Rupert and Sky able to get through it without needing to really do any of that defensive work.
We might see Oglib or Lasso build the wall. So this is another instance for this stage that Sky is on. This is another instance of a stage where this is an unintended strat. That bird flying overhead is just meant to drop a bob-omb, but Luigi can jump high enough to just jump on the back of the bird and make it to the end of the level, so you don't have to go all the way right like you're expected to.
Even when you do make it all the way right, you end up just on a bird anyway. So very nice that you can get up there really early in the stage. Don't have to go through all that. Really, I don't even remember what's in the rest of that stage anymore. I think there's some mushrooms.
Sky's making 7-1 look easy. She's done this a lot. We keep talking about how SMB2 is probably everyone's weakest game, but these players, when we say weakest game, they still make it look good. Sky's tangling with the green Birdo in this version, though. If you want to get technical, it's supposed to be the gray Birdo.
Yeah.
Lazo grabbing the Bezo out of the air, looking for a good Bezo to spawn for you so you can grab them. There's actually a way to get a consistent setup so that the first Bezo that comes down is one that you can pick up. But Lazo just waited for a good one and grabbed it out of the air to allow him to run through the whole level, so that's perfect. Sky is now tackling 7-2. 7-2 is that stage we mentioned earlier. This should be a much longer level, but Sky, just like Rupert, is just going to go over the entire ceiling. Rupert's absolutely destroying SMB3 right now. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's an incredibly accomplished SMB3 speedrunner.
The key in general for Mario 3 is to keep P-speed. Mario 3, I think, kind of the first game that formalizes Mario's top speed at the bottom of the screen or in any capacity with Mario's arms coming out. When you do have P-speed in Mario 3, you just go amazingly faster. Your jumps go that much further. Most of the strats in the game basically revolve around keeping P-speed, going as fast as you can. That's the main reason they don't get the leaf, so you don't have a takeoff meter removing your P-speed after a set amount of time after you jump. So you're going to see a lot of Super and Fire Mario strats for most of the run.
So it looks like Sky is going to be well poised to go into the warp fight. The warp fight can be really challenging, and one thing that you really hate to see is going into warp fight with just one heart. That's just it's much more nerve-wracking. Having an extra hit here, whether she ends up needing it or not, is going to probably make her feel a lot more confident about this. And that confidence, sometimes that psychological aspect can be all it takes.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, you want to see these vegetable hits from the front. It's just faster to get your cycles in that way. You can sneak behind Wart with a couple of characters just jumping over his head, but then you're basically doubling the length of the fight if you do that. You won't be able to get back to catch the first vegetable that pops out after each hit. It's consistent, and that it's also consistently slower than going for the fast strat.
So we got a few donations here. We got Chase Wolf with $1 saying, "I know it's not much, but every little bit helps." And I cannot emphasize that sentiment enough. We've been talking about donate this amount to unlock this thing, donate this amount to be able to get prizes. But at the end of the day, this money's not about us. This money is about donating to St. Jude Children's Hospital. And in fact, that is correct. Every little bit helps. So even if you don't feel like you can meet any sort of implied minimum amount, that's not the case. Your donations are incredibly welcome, incredibly appreciated at any amount. And we've also got another one from Uno Squid for $10 saying, "Go Sky, you can do it." So thanks, Uno Squid.
Oglib taking advantage of the screen wrap mechanics of Mario 2 US here to deal with the I forget what the name of the flowers is.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Are those new iterations of the piranha plants or something else?
There's something else.
I don't remember their names either.
My Mario 2 instruction manual is buried somewhere in the corner. Rupert in the World 2 airship. If you're not familiar with Mario 3, first of all, you should play Mario 3. But secondly, all the sort of end-of-level stages in this game, you get this kind of auto-scrollery airship.
That's right. They're called Panzers, the fire shooter.
Panzers are... Oh, we'll go with that.
I'm pretty sure that's correct. That sounds correct.
Yeah.
So if you're watching on the front page of Twitch, first off, thank you. We've got some great viewership tonight for our first day of the St. Jude Play Live campaign benefiting St. Jude Children's Hospital. If you're watching on the front page, don't be afraid. We don't bite unless you're into that. That's fine too. But just click through. You can click either on Sky's name on the front page or click on the stream, and it'll take you to the channel. We've got a wonderful chat. We're raising money. We're doing great things. There's prizes we're giving out. There's donation incentives. So tonight, if we can get to $1,000, we'll be seeing some Super Mario World. Everyone's super excited about it. I mean, most people are excited about it.
It's certainly a video game, and we want to make them play it.
It is a video game, and watching other people play it is one of the purest joys in life.
Would you say the water levels in Mario 3 are any better than the water levels in the first two games we saw tonight?
I would say that SMB3 has what I think are definitely still challenging water levels, but they are much more fair, I think. You get some mobility, you get some room to move around. There's some stages a little bit later in the game where you're going to have the Jugum. What's the name I'm looking for?
Jukum? Oh, you're talking about the jellyfish?
No, the flying. Why did I suddenly forget the name of the guy who flies in the Lakitu? Lakitu raining down spinies on the players. So I think that's a point where players would argue maybe it's not actually as fair as I'm describing, but
it's not that common, at least.
I don't know why in my head I had Jugum. I mean, Jugum is the Japanese name for Lakitu, but I don't know why that was stuck in my head, but I couldn't think of the English name for him.
I mean, it's close enough. Glib actually here at the start of 6-2, the Albatos level, kind of doing a little back and forth to get onto the Hybrid. It does make the stage a little easier. You don't have to worry about jumping over some of the low platforms. So it's nice in that respect. Rupert dealing with 3-3 and Boss Bass, the fish that will jump out of the water and eat and swallow Mario whole.
He lost P-Speed, and that's not a level that you necessarily want to go off script on. Boss Bass doesn't play around, so...
Sky picking up her fire flower here on the airship. Sky's Mario 3 strats do have a tendency. She uses the tail a little more often than others. I mentioned earlier it kind of affects your ability to get P-speed, but like Auth and I have been talking about this whole time, Sky's strats are scarily consistent. She knows exactly what she's doing with that tail, and there are a few... it definitely has its advantages in various places throughout the runs.
Yeah, Sky is the player you'll see in SMB3 who's going to prefer to use the tail more often. Most of these players, and for good reason, are not going to use the tail really at all. And the reason for that is when you're flying with the tail, you're considerably slower. But that being said, the consistency that it provides definitely can outweigh for some players the little bit of time loss you get from flying.
Do have people in chat noticing that you can in fact fire kill the Koopalings. Bosses, mini bosses, whatever we're going to call them in Mario 3, Boom Boom and the Koopalings, and even Bowser himself will fall to fireballs. Boom Boom,
Takes
I
quite
believe,
a lot, but
Boom Boom 5, the Koopalings 10, Bowser I think it's close to 25 or something in that range.
for the Koopalings, it can be very difficult to pull off, so you may not see all the players going for it, especially not in the SNES version. For Boom Boom, it's definitely the fastest strat, not too hard to execute on. For Bowser, it'll depend on whether or not they're going for Hammer Brothers or Hammer Suit strats or Fire strats, but in either case, you're going to find a lot of players are going to be opting to try to do something to make the Bowser fight faster. In addition, I want to point out we got a few donations here. We got Afro Monkey with $20. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. And also this name here, Mr. Cab, with $50. So thank you so much. Okay.
I want to see Mario World.
I want to see Mario World too. We're getting there, guys, and we really appreciate all of your support. It's really appreciated. It's for a great cause. Sky has done this this event, the St. Jude event. This is now her 3rd year running, and it's always been incredibly successful. And it would be silly to say that it's her work alone that makes it successful. It's such a great community we've got around here, and so many people willing to give, and that can't be understated. How appreciated it is, how hard you guys work to make sure that we meet our goals and we raise a great amount of money for the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Oglib taking on Birdo, finally making it through. Had a little bit of trouble, but we're okay. Lasso took a death on Red Birdo, but right back in it. One of the nice things about SMB2 US is that most doors and screen transitions are checkpoints. So when you enter the Birdo fight, you're almost always getting a checkpoint right before the fight. So little mistakes like that don't really add up.
Mario 2 and Mario 3 don't really have continue points mid-world. Mario 3 does have, much like the NES version, kind of the Boom Boom Fortress checkpoints, but not Mario 2U. So also, we're going to keep an eye on his life count as he goes along. He's okay for now. He still has another 3 lives. But later in the game, that might factor into some decisions.
They're asking how much to get Author Blues to also play SMW with the rest of the runners. Well, I'll tell you that first off, we've got a 4-person layout here, and we've got 4 players, so I'm not sure whether or not there will be room for me. But you know what? I'll tell you, I'll up the ante. If we do get to 1,500 tonight, even if it's by the end of the Super Mario World race, I'll figure out a way to get it on the schedule, even if it means that some night I tell Sky I'm taking over at the end of the stream and I'll play Super Mario World for you guys. So that's my challenge to you. If you can make it to 1,500 tonight by the end of the stream, then I will figure out a way to put myself and SMW on the schedule at some point.
I think Jack can make that happen. You might be signing up for something there.
It's fine. Sometimes you have to make the tough calls.
So yeah, front pagers. I believe we are. Are we still on the front page?
Yep, we're on the front page for another half an hour. We've got a great number of viewers, a lot of people tuning in from the front page. So first off, hi, welcome. This is Sky Bill's stream. She's a speedrunner, does a lot of other fun content. But for the next 2 weeks, we are doing a fundraiser for St. Jude, Play Live St. Jude Children's Hospital. So welcome. Hello, everyone. If you're new here, if this is the first time you're seeing it and you're liking what you're seeing, Usually it's not my voice. Usually it's a much cuter female voice. And if you wanna be here for that, you'll definitely want to follow. So pop through to the stream, come hang out with the chat for a little bit, and then follow. If you feel so motivated to donate, if you think what we're doing here is a good cause, and you think we're putting on a good show, maybe drop a few dollars, see what you can do. We've got a lot of great prizes for this marathon, so there's a lot of great reasons to put your money toward it. I can share some of the prizes with you right now if you want to know what's going on. So we've got, today, if you donate a minimum of $10, your name will be entered into a raffle for the following prizes. A signed Super Mario All-Stars cart signed by Darbian, a fantastic speedrunner who runs All-Stars as well, and a good friend of ours. A Mario cereal, the Super Mario cereal. It's our first of many boxes that we're giving out. We got a TwitchCon pin. We've got a Fireflower Perler, a wonderful perler, a lot of really great perlers over the course of the next few weeks being given out. Some commissioned ones, some donated ones. I'm really excited about the one that's being given away for Super Metroid. We have a full-size Ridley perler. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait for you guys to see it and for some lucky person to receive it. And then there's also a St. Jude mousepad being given away today. So.
So a lot of stuff's been going on while we've been kind of looking at Mario 2. Rupert did take care of Wendy and the third airship, probably the other Koopa besides Larry, the first one, where you see a lot of fire kills take place because nobody wants to deal with those rings bouncing around the room. Sky's also making her way to the end of World 2, kind of keeping pace with that world and a half gap we've seen for a little while now. Sky still keeping up, still making use of those tail strats. She saw those in the pyramid. Makes it a lot easier than kind of managing the Buzzy Beetles, even if it might... There are still pretty fast strats for using the Beetles. Rupert now also in World 4 is dealing with the Hammer Brothers. We haven't really talked about that too much for Mario 3. You have these wandering Hammer Brothers on the map. They all, of course, carry various items and prizes when you defeat them. And Worlds 4 and 5 especially, there's kind of a set of them that you specifically want to take care of. You're really looking to get one P-Wing in one world, 4 or 5, and in the other world kind of just skip them all to save some time, because it's faster to kind of forego those items than to deal with the battles, which are about 30 seconds each. Maybe a little less than that, but something like that. At the end of World 4 here, you kind of have this branching path. World 4 I still think is one of my favorite worlds just because of all just this trope here of having giant-sized enemies running around.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The Super Mario Bros. 3 does a fantastic job with its theming. You know, we've talked all night about this world is this theme and this world's this theme for a whole bunch of games, but I think SMB 3 really does the best job of having these really cogent themes throughout the game.
Definitely. Man, there's just a lot of stuff that's still going on here in this game.
Yeah, Lasso's making his way to the end of World 5. World 5 is probably, I would say, the most challenging world in the run. So once Lasso gets done with World 5, a lot of it should be more or less home free for him. World 6 is not too much. It's technical, but it's not too much, and World 7 goes by pretty quickly. So we should see Lasso entering into SMB 3 in short order.
Oglib's also actually
the double carpet glitch now too.
Oglib is in Mario 3, so he's playing his game now.
Yeah, he's
also
he's
just
home.
barely making that.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time setting up that the double carpet glitch, and by the time that timer had run down, he just had enough time left on it to make it to safe ground.
So how fast is the airship that Rupert's on right now?
Is this the slowest airship in the game? I actually don't remember offhand.
This is in fact the slowest airship in the game. I believe the meme with it is that it's actually twice as slow as everything else in this game for some reason.
Wow.
So slowest moving airship. It is the least interesting because really all it has are these flamethrowers. There's one of the wrench throwing moles halfway through. I think my favorite SGDQ joke for this has been actually looking at circulars and shopping for washing machines while playing this level. It is that bad. Like usually when people complain about auto scrollers and all the things you can do to get around them, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit at level design, but I mean this level really does earn that.
So we just got another donation from Noob, $20. So thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. We're getting closer, guys. We're at 641. That puts us at what, 359 until we get to Super Mario World. 859 before you force me to play Super Mario World, unfortunately. But I think we can get there tonight. We got a little bit of time left. Really want to see that $1,000. Really want to see Super Mario World happening tonight.
We're only, what is this, 359 away from that now?
Yep.
So blazing out there. The items for Mario 3 are pretty much routed out for exactly where you want to use them. P-Wings are going to get used. They're not even going to collect all the ones that they can, though. Kind of goes back to the idea that running and jumping with the tail is just not as fast as not having a tail and running at P-speed for the whole level. P-Wings tend to get used in levels where you are forced to fly, or there's a few levels in Worlds 6 and 7 that you can straight up fly over without kind of walking inside of.
There's not a ton of time left. I mean, we have 3 of our runners in the last game of this race. So if you're wanting to see Super Mario World, now's your opportunity to get that in. I think it can still be done.
I think someone's just waiting for it, but I mean, we want to see this total shoot up fast. Don't forget, besides Mario World, besides helping St. Jude, we also have that great list of prizes that Author Blues is talking about. I know that cereal box is on there for the $10 to get into that drawing. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, get in here.
There's a lot of great reasons to be donating. If charity is not the reason that you've chosen, there's a lot of other really great reasons to be donating as well. So
Rupert making it to the top route here in 5-2. If you're familiar with 5-2, you've probably taken the bottom path through that stage at least once in your life. The bottom path, which I believe it's been routed out that if you end up down there, it's actually faster to die, leave the level, and come back and do the top route again. It's just a real slog. You don't want to see it. Of course, after that, you go straight to the Fast Fortress, which is just a fun level to run right through.
for the low price of $10, you can get your name in for the raffles for the prizes for tonight. And there's even more prizes to come in future nights, so there's plenty of great reasons to be donating.
Getting a drink of water here, I guess. But we are well into Mario 3. So just to recap, Rupert is a little out in front here, using that music box to put the Hammer Brothers to sleep, because like I was saying a little while ago, faster to just not collect all the P-Wings or all the items you can and just skip those fights about 20-30 seconds each. Making his way into the Sky now. Sky dealing with Wendy O. Koopa, not able to get the fire kill, so this fight's about to get a little spicy if she can get a couple more rings off. Sky just getting that third stomp in while Wendy was waving the wand. Good job. That was actually legitimately scary. Wendy without fire is probably my least favorite screen in this game.
I think it's worth mentioning that Sky may have actually made some time up on Rupert. She's a little less, right around 2 worlds behind Rupert right now, closer to 1.5 worlds behind Rupert, and worlds in SMB3 are much longer, so I think that she might have made some time back, or at the very least has not lost any additional time. Rupert is such an accomplished SMB3 runner that I think that that's worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm. It's been 1.5 worlds for a little bit now. I don't want to completely like rain on the parade, but that World 4 airship in the way is kind of. Ooh, that's a level.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
as far as time goes. Rupert here though is going to try. He wants to get fire back in the next level. It looks like he's been taking some damage, which is not that good. You want to keep fire as long as you can, just to be able to take out those boom booms quickly. Just more opportunities for everyone else to kind of catch up here.
Oglib's really showing off just how good at SMB3 he is. There's a lot of really intricate movement through these levels to do them quickly, and he's making short work of it. It'll be interesting to see, just as interesting to see the distance between Rupert and Sky changing. Be interesting to see whether or not Oglib is able to make up some of that time he's behind on Sky. I don't know if they'll necessarily be able to make up enough to catch her, but seeing that gap close will be very interesting as we go on.
Rupert almost out of the sky. Just that the bad thing about the sky is kind of almost the fun thing about the sky. It's sounding awkward now that I'm saying it, but I'm going to keep rolling with it. The sky levels are just huge chasms, lots of pits everywhere. So
Lazo is wrapping up SMB2 US. I'd say that he's probably at this point about 30 minutes behind Rupert, which sounds like a lot, but actually based on their separate PBs is about what you would expect. Rupert has an extremely strong PB in this category, a low 2 hours, whereas Lazo has a more mid-level PB, the kind of PB that someone like I have or Oglib has or any of us has. Rupert is just in a class of his own compared to world record holders in this game, for instance. We got a few more donations rolling in. We got Flex Retro with $15. Thank you so much for that support. We got J Durg with $30 saying, come on, folks, let's get to that $1,000 mark and watch the suffering to help ease some suffering. Absolutely. SMW is a fairly unforgiving speed game, and I would hazard a guess that a lot of these players are pretty rusty in some ways in Super Mario World, so I think it's going to be really entertaining to watch, and I personally don't want to have to miss out on it. So make sure those donations keep coming in. Love to see some Super Mario World.
only 3:14 to go before that becomes a reality. Lasso doing the spark dance here.
Absolutely. Also, it's very close to the end. He just has to beat the Eagle Head door, and then he'll be heading into the Wart fight. I haven't been keeping an eye on his life count. He's down to his last hit, and while the Wart fight's not impossible, Wart is a challenging boss, and I'd hate to see him have to start World 7 over or something. Wow, we got Pamplemousse with 123.45. Paying to torture the runners with SMW. Pony up, kids. Also, can we get to that $1,500 incentive and then ask Blues to race Rupert in Lunar Dragon or 95 Exit if they can't take the challenge? I will absolutely race Lunar Dragon against Rupert. I will talk to Sky. We'll get it on the schedule if you guys can get to 1,500 tonight. And that's 1,500 by the end of the night. So that means even if we hit 1,000 to get Super Mario World, you still have the length of Super Mario World to get us to 1,500.
That you definitely want to see. We're over 800 now, so we are not that far away.
I will relearn Lunar Dragon in order to race Lunar Dragon. That's how much I'm committed to the St. Jude campaign. I will play Super Mario World for your enjoyment if we can get to 1,500. Thank you so much for your support, Pamplemousse. The big grapefruit dropping the big bucks in chat.
Moving right along. Oglib is in World 3, Fort 1. He's going for third door. Doesn't he get it?
He went for third door.
Of course he went for third
the
door.
Absolute memer.
You have, I don't know how many frames you have to press
Not
up
many.
and re-enter the door. It's not many. But if you do that, you go immediately to the Boom Boom room, as opposed to going to the 6th door as, well, I guess the developers intended. Rupert,
Yeah,
Rupert just missed that star kill. Go ahead, though.
I was gonna say if Rupert's game for it, we'll make it Chinese Super Mario World if we get to 1500.
Think of your health.
Yeah, but I'm actually probably more practiced in Chinese Super Mario World than I am at Super Mario World. Lazo entering SMB3, and this is where he's really going to shine. The SNES version is very different than the NES version that he's used to, but I think that this is where you're going to see the real gamer coming out.
Mario 3, compared to the other games, the SNES version, a lot more similar to the NES version, except for a couple of examples like 4-4. The camera's off, which does throw the runners off a little bit, but also should be just fine.
Chinese Super Mario World's a cop-out.
Rupert actually in one of those levels where you do have to use a P-Wing, or at least have a tail at some point, because the exit is up here at the top of the cave. P-Wing, sort of the obvious choice to not have to deal with gaining P-speed, dealing with when you jump and everything else, to sort of run back and forth and get it so you don't lose flight halfway through.
Looks like we've got another $50 from Slice Mage saying, let's get to that $1,000 SMW incentive, donate to kids. And I know that you're seeing this coming, so I don't even have to tell you, but I will. It ends with a or else.
I am left without words for Slice Mage.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about what or else means. It's laboring on me. We're doing a great job tonight, and meeting the goal or not, your support is infinitely appreciated. Thank you for helping us help St. Jude Children's Hospital. But thanks for making this possible.
Rupert there, opting not to go for the third under the ice flight. You can make it to all three, but either way, Ice Fortress done. Getting the second one of those is actually the hardest of the bunch, because you kind of have to carry P-speed from the first one all the way. So if you mess it up at all, just don't go for it. It's not pretty. Otherwise, kind of moving right along here. Rupert gonna jump the H. Good, he didn't make me a liar. He just...
Lazo was going for the Superman, but then he backed off a little bit. You can tell Lazo has practiced the SNES version quite a lot, because players who are only comfortable with the NES version tend to miss that jump in 1/6 a lot. And so showing that he was capable of pulling off, even on this version that's slightly different, shows how good he is actually at this game and how good he is at this version. Oglib going for the fire kill on Windy and pulls it off. The Windy fire kill is probably the easier of them. Not that she's an easy boss, but that it's a little bit easier to pull off the strap.
Just moving right along at this point.
So we are nearing the end of our front page time. So if you're currently watching from the Twitch front page and you want to continue watching this race, our time on the front page is probably going to be wrapping up pretty soon. You want to see how this race ends up? You want to see Super Mario World, which I know you want to see that.
You want to see that.
You will probably want to pop over to the stream. We are at twitch.tv/Skybills. You can click on her name. You can click on the stream. Any of those will take you to the channel itself. But feel free to come on by, have a great time with us. We're doing this St. Jude Play Live campaign that benefits St. Jude Children's Hospital. We're doing this for the next 2 weeks at least. And if we meet our stretch goals, I think if we meet I'm sorry, if we meet 15,000, there will be a few extra days added on. Sky has quite a lot of bonus content prepared for when that comes up. So definitely be prepared. Flex Retro drops another $15. Incredible support. Might as well make it a cool 50. Awesome job with the event thus far, guys. Well, thank you for supporting it. This event is only as successful as the amount of support that you guys provide, and we are so infinitely appreciative of it. I'm Derippa. Thanks for the subscription with Twitch Prime. Welcome to Twitch Prime. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Skyforce.
And Zipper Tech here with a $50 donation just now while you were reading all that. This is good work you guys are doing. If anyone is interested in checking out, oh man. Either way, thank you for those $50.
We really appreciate the support you guys have been showing. This has been a great first day, a great kickoff to this event, and there's only more to come. So thank you so much. Donate to kids.
Donate to kids.
Slice Maids, drop an ominous comment real quick.
Sky picking up that fire here in, I believe this is 5.8. No, this is 5.7. World 5 has too many levels and too many forks in the road. But that is the last Fire Flower in World 7 before the airship, so she's going to want to carry that through to the Boom Boom. Rupert, actually, this is worth talking about for a moment. Rupert is done with Lemmy, the kind of Koopa that balances on his giant ball there. He is down to Super Mario right now, which is okay, because in 7-1, there's a clip here that skips basically the entire level.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to get it first try?
I got to jump in real quick. Oglib drops $20 saying, "Hi, bored on the World 4 airship again, so here's some money. Excited to kick off another great St. Jude event. Thanks, Oglib." Krim drops $10.55. Okay, sorry. Just need to make that number aesthetically pleasing again and get rid of the 45 cents. Sorry, Pamplemousse. And then $10 from Neon Lemonade. Bah humbug. We're doing great right now, guys. Your support is absolutely unbeatable. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate you helping to make this event a success. It's a cause that's really dear to Sky. She cares a lot about the St. Jude charity. She's worked with them now several years running and always puts on a really entertaining, fun event. And your support just really appreciated. So thank you.
I do want to call out Lasso while you were doing that, executed the red rocket strat in 2-3 to kind of kick a shell at P speed, make it go a little faster, clearing out those blocks. Oglib in a little trouble here. Rupert, I believe, had 4th try clip before clearing 7-2. I think he used a P-wing to just kind of skip the whole thing, because 7-2 has a gap that if you fall into it, you have to uncover a lot of invisible note blocks and just kind of do a couple of loops through the stage. It's not fun. So Rupert just kind of making sure.
$10 more from Mo13. Keep up the great stream. Go St. Jude. Absolutely, go St. Jude. We're $25 away, just unbelievably close to Super Mario World. We've got a little bit of time left. Rupert is in World 7, Sky is in World 5, Oglib is in World 4, and Lazo is in World 2. Not sure how this is all going to shake down, but it looks like we are absolutely on track to get, and it looks like we just cut it. Tormod dropped $30 Kappa SMW time. Tormod pushed us over the edge with another anonymous $25 donation following right after that. So thank you to both of you, Tormod and the anonymous donor, for pushing us over the edge. We are now at $1,000, and we will be seeing Super Mario World tonight.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, everybody. I do want to call out Rupert used a P-Wing in 7-2. It looks like he actually kept that tail all the way through here to the first fortress in World 7, which you are required to fly to reach Boom Boom. So usually you're probably going to see Oglib and Lasso not use a P-Wing until they get to 7 Fort 1. But that strat there of using the P-Wing in 7-2 and keeping the tail all the way through. Not that much slower. Most of the time he loses just in 7-3 with P-Speed. Well done by Rupert. Like you're saying, not his main game, but he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's a small comment about Rupert to say this isn't his main game. He's still perhaps one of the strongest people here in SMB3. And that just goes to show how accomplished he is in all these games. Smartball donated $25 saying, we need some SMW tonight, and we really need Off the Summer through a Lunar Dragon run. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not saying that I want to play Super Mario World because I don't, but I do want to raise great money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. And so if you guys want to make me suffer, $1,500 is my price.
Rupert, with a little bit of hacks there, getting through the that fireball tiny piranha plant at the end of 7-8.
Rupert is wrapping up World 7 before we hit the 2-hour mark, and that's just unbelievable pace, honestly. Rupert's probably looking at something like, what, that puts him on pace for about a 2-hour 10, maybe?
It's going to be a little more than that. World 9... World 8 has a lot of auto-scrollers, so it's famously long. Even
Rupert's going for the clip strats. He's got to know he's got a little bit of a lead, and he's going to have some fun with this level. This is the fastest strat, don't get me wrong, but it's incredibly challenging to pull off. So he has to do 4 successive clips, and after taking that hit, he's not going to be able to make any more of them.
He's done. He cannot advance in the level at this point.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to take a death, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I think I saw Fireflower Mario looking through his window on Losso's screen momentarily. We'll have to look for that later.
Okay, so a donation on behalf of Fritos is what I'm assuming here. $1 saying, and this is a direct quote from the chat, Fritos in chat said, can someone donate $1 in my name? I have no money to give them. I donated to kids because I'm afraid of Slice Mage. I get that. I honestly just get that.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, for real. For real. And then the Elder Spork donated $50. Help kids and get Chinese Super Mario World? Count me in. You know, we're gonna have to see how this shakes out. If we get to 1,500, I mean, we'll see what Rupert is game for. He doesn't even know about this. He hasn't been listening the whole time. He can't speak for himself. I'll talk him into Lunar Dragon at least. But Chinese Super Mario World may be a bigger stretch. He has some war stories about that game.
I'm not sure if Chinese Super Mario World is better or worse than Lunar Dragon. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
There's at least one person in chat who thinks that picking Chinese Super Mario World is a cop-out.
I'm kind of with them.
Yeah, I don't disagree. He likes Chinese Super Mario World more than Lunar. Well, then we may end up seeing Chinese Super Mario World at some point, if that's how it plays out. Rupert taking a death in 7-4-2. Not an easy stage. There's a reason why a lot of runners right below the top skill level will cloud this fort, actually.
There are, I think, there's really 3 levels that you could cloud at the end of this game, although I don't think anybody really does go all the way through to 8 Fort 1 is actually the longest level, but it's by far easier than this one. 7 Fort 2 is pretty tricky. Rupert's actually doing 7-9-7 Fort 2 now that I think about it, isn't he?
Looks like it.
Yeah, so he's probably going to use that cloud somewhere in World 8 if he hasn't.
I can't blame him. There's a few stages in World 8. Why not cloud them if you can? Yeah,
8-1 is a popular choice. 8 Fort 1, I think, is kind of the actual longest level that you could spend that cloud on. So that's going to be interesting to see. I didn't expect this.
RD dropped $10. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Really appreciated. So we probably don't have time to add it to the schedule for tonight, but if we do hit that $1,500, we will get some variant of Super Mario World, maybe Chinese Super Mario World, maybe Lunar Dragon, maybe 95 Exit. We'll see. I'll try to talk Rupert into it, and we'll get it on the schedule for one of the nights coming up.
If we get to 2,000, can we do both?
Oh no. I think before I make too many more plans with Sky's schedule, we should consult Sky. She's been working harder than you guys know, preparing for this. She's been preparing for this the past few months, organizing the event, organizing the prizes, scheduling time on the front page, scheduling promotional things. What is Lunar Dragon? Lunar Dragon is a category in Super Mario World where you beat every single level, you get all of the dragon coins, and you get all the moons. And so it's just called Lunar Dragon. It's also known as 96 Exit, all dragon coins and moons, but that's a much less fun name. Bone Crusher, Bone Crusher?
Bone Crusher!
Dropped $100, saying, wait, it was only $10 for the coupons? Whoops. Oh no. Well, the children thank you for your mistake. Donate to kids. Mine does not come with an implied or else.
We are getting dangerously close to that 1,500 off.
We are. I should have put it higher. I regret everything.
Also is escaping 3-8 here. They say rule 1 of speedrunning Mario 3 warpless is don't die in 3-8. Since that cloud you use to skip 3-6 is only good once. If you die in 3-8 and get sent back to 3-4, guess who's playing 3-6?
Yeah, you don't want to see that happen.
You hate to see that happen.
You hate to see that happen. Also, going for the jump over the blocks, just narrowly missed it, so you won't get the H jump, but that's not that huge of a deal. And with that, Rupert is now heading into World 8. He's still on pretty good pace. He has that extra cloud in reserve that he can use.
This is World 8, I guess, about 6 minutes?
Something like that.
I think
it'll be closer to 6 minutes now that Rupert has a cloud. I think it's a little longer than that.
I will have to apologize since, as I'm sure most of you know out there, World 8 has this bridge with the 3 hands on it, and there's like a 50-50 chance on each of those spots on the map that a hand will come up and claw Mario into the level, forcing you to basically lose time from a speedrun perspective. I know usually when I'm watching, that first hand is really aggressive, so we're probably going to see some. If we see any runners get through here with no hands, I'm not sure what sort of wager I'm willing to put on this, but...
Oh, Smartball says he lost the cloud. I actually didn't see that.
Oh, he lost it. Was
yeah,
that...
we must have missed that. He must have, like, 3-8 and then had to do 3-6 or something. Well, thanks to the viewers for keeping us honest on the commentary. We didn't realize that we missed out on that. Great viewership tonight. I think we're probably off the front page now, but we're still holding down about 1,000 viewers and 300 people in chat. Don't feel like you can't migrate onto the chat. We're all friendly here. We love the support that we're seeing for the St. Jude Play Live Marathon. Sky's 12K strong for St. Jude, raising money for the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Also here, not doing the fire strats, doesn't have fire flower, just hoping for a clean, windy fight here, and he gets it. Fantastic.
That was too close.
That was closer than you want to see. You dislike seeing that happen.
What do we have to? 3 attempts for Sky on the 7-1 clip. Rupert got it in 4. That's at least 5 for Sky. 5 that I saw.
No, I think technically if you round to the nearest million, it's 0 viewers, but...
Maybe we always round up?
That's a weird way to round.
It's, I'm being told that's called a ceiling function, not a rounding function.
That's correct. So we do have a lot of great prizes still, so if you see that we've hit our main goal for tonight, $1,000, and you think we're done for tonight, that's not necessarily the case. Apparently I got talked into putting up a 1,500 goal for me playing Super Mario World. Apparently, everyone here knows me well enough to want to punish me. But in addition to that, there's still an opportunity for you to get in on these fabulous prizes that are going on right now. And so we do have a long list of prizes. All it takes is a minimum $10 donation for the night to get in on these prizes. We've got a Super Mario All-Stars cart that's signed by Darbian. Twitch.tv/Darbian. We've got a box of the Super Mario cereal. We've got many more boxes of that to give out over the week. We've got a TwitchCon pin. We've got a Fireflower Perler. Lots of great Perlers being given away this week as well, or these next few weeks. And then we've got a big St. Jude mouse pad being given away. So the prizes tonight are great. A lot of really good stuff given away, and we've got prizes like these every single night. So come back. You want to get in on these. Tomorrow night we're giving away a St. Jude cape, a bracelet, a copy of Golf with Your Friends on Steam, a Link lamp, a lamp of Link, pixelated version of Link, and then a St. Jude tumbler. All sorts of great things. We got lots and lots and lots of prizes all throughout the week, so you don't want to miss out on those.
Rupert escaped the first hand, but had to do the second hand level, so one hand there. Each hand is about 30 seconds. You get a leaf in your inventory for a little bit of safety. Not that these runners hopefully will need such a thing, but it's nice to have.
Rupert working his way through the Air Force, making great progress in World 8. Sky is, where's she in World 7? Was that Fort 1 or Fort 2?
That was Fort 1.
Okay. I mean, you can see here, Oglib is definitely making up some of that gap. Oglib is such an accomplished SMB3 player. He's not unfamiliar with the SNES version of SMB3. SMB3, Sky is probably the weakest of these four on SMB3, and so this is really both Oglib and Lazo's opportunity to try to close that gap if possible. Sky's still got the lead, where if she plays well, plays consistently like she usually does, she can still take second in this race pretty easily, but Oglib is definitely nipping at her heels.
Yeah, Sky is just too far ahead of Oglib at this time. I'm gonna just keep doing that tonight. I'm sorry.
Yep, it's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
I forgive you for the children.
For the children.
Oh, that tail really paid off for Sky there. She missed the star box and her star ran out, but she was able to fly and get the star instead.
Sky wanting to keep that tail beyond her usual tail strats. Having a tail going into 7-9 can be a little bit of a speed boost. You can take a shortcut up the outside of the maze rather than having to go through the first segment of it. Rupert not taking the sand trap, going right through 8-2 here. Sir, bouncing on the Koopa, wow.
I'm going to step away for just a moment.
Okay. So Rupert here is going to go into the final fortress of the game. Worth noting, we just saw his inventory. I don't think I saw a hammer suit in there. The hammer suit, if you were going to pick it up, World 6 is where you would do it. So that means Rupert is going to look to carry the fire flower he has right now through to the end of the game. There are fire flowers at the end of the stage, but this is the last level that has any at all. So if you want to get that faster fire kill on Bowser and save a huge chunk of time at the end of the run, he can't take any more hits from here on out. Sky is about to wrap up World 7. That's more of a testament at this point to how long all the auto-scrollers in World 8 can be, that Sky has kind of closed this gap from being a world and a half to kind of just one world at this point. Sky also using the P-Wing here. Ludwig's airship is, despite the fact it doesn't scroll as slowly as the World 4 airship, it's still the longest level in the game, just because of pure length to go with the auto-scrolling. Getting the P-Wing here, kind of nice to make sure you get through it. This level has, you can kind of see there's the bolt lifts near the end. There's a lot of open air here. Die on an airship in Mario 3, not something you want to see in any perspective, let alone a speed run. The airship tends to travel to a random place on the map, and it likes to find places behind levels you haven't cleared yet. More than that, World 7 also is a just massive map with a lot of pipes you have to take around. You lose a lot of time trying to track it down. Not fun. So using this P-Wing not only kind of escapes all those gaps, Ludwig shakes the ground whenever he falls down. So having that extra P-Wing here, not at all a bad idea. And it's not like you're losing any time either, given that, well, it's an auto-scroller.
All right, I'm back. Can you scoop me on any hot information that I missed? Did anything really cool happen while I was gone?
I didn't even look to see if Rupert used the strat. He didn't. He went on the top route, though, so I don't think he did. He also didn't get the clip right here, but he is in Bowser's Castle with fire. Sky's P-winging over Ludwig's airship. Lasso is considering his GDQ donations from the longest auto-scroller, except it's not. And Glib...
Looks like Glib is going for the wall jump. Yeah, if you get the wall jump pixel, he can make it up there. He got it! He got it!
Nice!
Awesome. That was nice. That was nice. That needs to go in the highlight reel. Someone clip that for us.
The Nintendo Power 13 strategy guide actually lists that strat right there, being able to wall jump. It claims only small Mario can make it, though. So Oglib confirmed better than Nintendo Power at Mario 3. Rupert, unfortunately, not able to dodge Bowser there, takes a hit. I think he's going to start showing off Bowser's amazing hitbox in this game.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Bowser's hitbox is only in his head. Unfortunately, his head can shoot fire pretty much straight down, so he still has to play it a little bit safe. But he can stand inside what looks like Bowser's hitbox, but it's really not.
I definitely like the phrasing of "it's only in his head."
It's only in his head. There's an absolute amount of gaming going on, and you can see that comment in chat from Oglib, who's actually playing the game right now and feels confident enough to talk.
So Rupert might have gotten Bowser into a little bit of a interesting position there, trying to figure out how to trick Bowser into jumping into the pit, but he figured it out. Respot saying Rupert's finishing time here is a 2:16:32. It's a little bit of a discrepancy with our timer, but close enough when you get right down to it.
Yeah, our timer's probably not going to be synced up perfectly for them. We're not using an RTMP server. They're all streaming to separate channels on Twitch, but in general, still a really fantastic run. 2:16 on a run where there were some mistakes made here and there. I mean, that just goes to show. I mean, most of the players playing here don't even have a 2:16 as their PB, so.
Yeah. I mean, shouts to Tech. Is it Dork behind the scenes for us?
Yeah, Dorkmaster Fleck is doing the tech for this, and doing the tech for a lot of this event as well, and he deserves a lot of credit for the hard work that he was putting on for this event as well. You know, Sky's been doing a lot of preparation for the past several months, but Dork is really stepping up and providing a lot of the help as we go along. So thanks so much.
Yeah, just all the work that goes into kind of setting up the tech behind the scenes, and it goes hand in hand with all that work to set up the event itself. And just thanks to everybody involved. Glib is challenging us here. If he gets, he's saying mac and cheese. I forget when exactly the Mario 3 community started calling it mac and cheese to get first try clip. That said, Lasso just got the Sunday sequence break.
I don't know what that one means.
So many of us probably remember an old podcast in the speedrunning community, the Sunday sequence break, and it had an opening that showed a lot of tricks and glitches, and one of them was entering the second pipe in the tower, the one that goes to the second real screen, going down instead of up, and Lasso just got it.
Nice.
I think it saves frames, if anything. Either way, it is probably one of the swaggiest maneuvers you can do in this game.
Glib did not get the first try.
He did not, so I get to keep my $50. Sorry, Slice Mage.
Oh, sorry, children.
Oh man, I'm just it'll show up eventually. Don't worry.
It'll make its way. It'll get where it's going.
It means I get to challenge more people to do ridiculous things, like Chinese Super Mario World.
I guess quick reminder, I will force Rupert to agree to my terms, but if we hit 1,500 tonight, we will fit probably Chinese Super Mario World on the schedule. Short of that, at least Lunar Magic or Lunar Dragon in Super Mario World. So we will get something Super Mario World-ish on the calendar.
I have to apologize to Sky for the first hand. That said, if you look in the top left of your screen, I believe I see another great member of the 2D Mario community in Raikou Rider. He's on the Super Tank level near the end of World 8. I don't know if he has been playing the games in the same order as everyone else, or if he is in fact here
I imagine he has
second place.
I imagine he is in second place. I imagine he has been playing in the same order as everyone else. So it looks like Raikou Rider is going to sneak in second place.
Nice.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, we did meet our main goal for tonight, which was $1,000. And for $1,000, we would be doing a Super Mario World No Star World race right after this race wraps up. So you can expect to look forward to that. It will be happening. It's 100% confirmed at this point. Anything else is extra, but don't forget that as much as that money, first off, helps the St. Jude Children's Hospital and the St. Jude Play Live event. In addition to that, any $10 donations will go toward entering a raffle for awesome prizes going on. And we have awesome prizes every single night. You can check out the list of prizes right there in chat. Bot Saget has posted it already, and that will give you information about what prizes are available tonight and every night.
I think Lasso would be a little annoyed if I didn't point out that, again, that Mario 3 strategy guide, on the one hand, it noted that you can make that wall jump. On the other hand, it claims that you cannot get through 5-8 without getting hit, and Lasso proving Nintendo Power wrong once again. We love you, Nintendo Power, but, I mean, come on. Raikou actually has a hammer suit. After doing the Everyman clip there, he's making his way to Bowser with the Hammer Brothers suit equipped. With Rupert, you saw him kind of get on top of the door, try and throw a lot of fireballs down on Bowser, and it just takes too many to defeat Bowser before he gets a move in. Hammers, on the other hand, have a weird property. On the NES version, I feel like they hit every frame or something like that. SNES version makes it a little different, but Bowser nonetheless is defeated very quickly.
So that has Raikou Rider, at least according to our timer, which may not be exactly right, wrapping up at 2:22:15. An incredibly respectable time.
It's really good.
If I'm not mistaken, our estimate for tonight is 2:45, and I think we're probably going to see all of our players hit about that mark as soon as 2:45 passes, or as soon as the race is over. We'll be moving on to Super Mario World No Star World. We did meet that incentive, so we will be playing Super Mario World No Star World, and me and Mr. Cab will stick around and be doing commentary for that as well. So
I love Mortonfly.
Oglib is absolutely crushing the clip strat here. He's gotten 2 fairly effortlessly. Let's see if he can continue on this streak.
It's as soon as you noticed it, he stopped hitting it off. I mean,
Well, I noticed it before. I just didn't say anything. That's why I should have shut my mouth.
yeah.
All right, he got. So this is the past the point of no return. He is currently stuck in here and can only get out with another clip, and he gets it, and he's out.
Nice. It's funny. It's the odd numbered clips that trap you.
Yep. So Sky is in the super tank right now, which means it's just this level, and then she heads into Bowser's Castle. I think she probably picked up the The hammer suit, she usually does. I don't know if I didn't.
She usually does. I wasn't paying attention when she was in World 6. You can kind of see Losso's actually almost to the Toad House in question. It's just above that that underground level you need to fly in. It's the Toad House in the middle of that kind of square of levels. Skybill's somewhat executing the strat here. The world famous patented Oglib Super Tank strat TM. Although she's backed off of it now. The Super Tank's kind of weird in that you want to be at the front of the screen. A lot of times in auto-scrollers, you don't want to be at the edge of the screen. There's some random factor or something can surprise you if you don't do it perfectly, and you take a hit and you become sad. Sky taking that hit against Boom Boom, I hope she has that hammer suit. But the Super Tank, for whatever reason, if you get right up on the edge of the screen and just kind of mash fireballs if you have them, stage is actually free.
Sky taking that hammer suit and a star into Bowser's Castle. Not even going to have to worry about the lasers at the beginning.
Makes the jumps anyway. Good to practice.
So it's absolutely imperative that for this strat to work out, that she gets the hammer suit all the way to Bowser. So she's probably going to play this pretty conservatively, and that's exactly what you want to see. That's not a mistake. She gets the clip.
Everyone should do that clip.
The easy clip. Now she just has one final room to navigate before we're out of here. We're out of this bad boy.
These fireballs near the end can be a little tricky, but there's definitely a known pattern for getting past them.
Yeah, they're on a fixed pattern, so it's not too bad. Now she's just going to go in, drop a few hammers, no big deal. Bowser's down.
It's over.
And we're going to see Sky finishing up with a 2:25 something. An incredibly respectable time in a race, nonetheless. No less.
Yeah, anything getting down, all these low times, all these runners are just showing mastery of all of these games. Some certainly...
Fantastic work from Sky.
Yeah.
I think she said she was going to pop into the voice chat after she finished the race, so we'll probably see her joining us to wrap up the commentary as well.
Nice. I'm also having a little trouble here with flight. Looks like he's going to try and build it back up, but okay, there we go. That was a scary flight. I wouldn't recommend that strat, but he's through.
Sean Carl says that's a PB according to speedrun.com for Sky.
Really?
Yeah. I thought she had a little bit stronger PB than that. She may have just not uploaded to speedrun.com, but nonetheless, that's a really great time.
Yeah, she has a 2:26.43 up there, which is kind of funny now that I look at the timer. So that may well be a PB for Sky. Bringing her A game to the race. Sky's in chat saying she's pretty sure Mario 2U was in fact a PB. So Oglib now into everyone's favorite World 8, just doing the normal tank level. Losso navigating the rest of World 6. Losso, let's see. He's going to take the normal route. This was the stage that you saw Oglib do the wall jump in earlier. Normally, you just kind of take the P-wing and go through it. Doing a wall jump here, even if it is pretty swag, you can save a P-wing there and have that P-wing for later on in the run, just to use it in another level. Maybe make another stage a little easier for yourself. Definitely beats.
Another $50 from Bone Crusher 2D saying, but wait, there's more.
Ooh.
Shout out to the runners from one speedrunner to all others. Being fast isn't fast enough. So thanks, Bone Crusher 2D. That's another $50 on top of your already incredibly generous $100 donation. Raikou Rider, $21, says 12 deaths and 9 fireworks equals $21 for the kids. So that's him wrapping up his run. He had a fantastic run, and he had promised a certain amount of money for each death and firework and bonus one-up and things like that. And there's his $21.
We are off to a great start tonight, actually. Already almost at 1,300 off. Are you sweating yet?
A little, but it's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
Or else.
Raikou Rider was going for the kids.
Thank you so much for helping us kick off this event in style. You know, starting off with a really strong day like this really sets the tone for the entire event. I know Sky's been working incredibly hard on putting this event together, so we're just really grateful for all the support that you guys are showing, and for how great this is turning out so far.
Off is gonna go, not off. Oglib is gonna go for some boat swag. I'll call Oglib off at least like 5 more times tonight.
That's okay. I forgive you.
I'm gonna blame it on being sleep deprived. Let's go with that. So I believe it's been scientifically proven that boat swag will make it so you get no hands. So let's see how that works out. If Glib had good boat swag or not. I'm also getting ready to go for his 7-1 clip pretty soon. Let's be honest, Oglib did not have really good boat swag given that.
It wasn't good enough. You want to see better boat swag than that, at least. Lazo's going to be heading into World 7. Looks like, you know, even for having a little bit of struggle with lost levels, Lazo's still going to turn out with a really great run, I think.
He should be cutting 250 for sure.
Oh,
The
without
rest of
doubt.
this game does not take 20 minutes. Glib, for that boat swag, by the way, was cursed with 2 hands. I believe Roop and Sky, we saw only get 1 each. I'm also unable to provide us with any macaroni and cheese tonight. We're all going to go hungry.
I was hungry for some mac and cheese, but you can't always get what you want.
But could you get what you need?
I mean, if you try sometime, you might find. Lazo's doing his best. It's a challenging clip because, I mean, there's a timing to it, there's a precision to it, and small mistakes in either direction is all it takes. But he gets it. He gets through the wall.
I feel like the description of that strat in general is to literally slam Mario's skull into the corner until good things happen. Lasso here in 7-2, we didn't really talk about it. We mentioned the P-Wing strat that kind of flowed over it. Lasso's doing the P-Speed strat to jump this gap. Not this one, this one, with that Paracupa jumping around underneath it. That's the one, it's basically covered with invisible note blocks. You can't jump out of it once you're in it. So getting over it just saves a whole ton of time. Two best ways over it, really. Either have a tail to either P-Wing, or you could just float over the gap, or that P-Wing strat is kind of the usual fast strat.
Raikou Rider subbing with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for your support.
Yo.
Really appreciate it. Still a lot of great gameplay for tonight. There's still the night is young. We'll be seeing some Super Mario World pretty soon because of how generous and how hard you guys work to raise the money for that. We're close. Apparently, there's also, completely unbeknownst to me, I'm being completely sidelined by this, but it turns out there's another donation incentive for hitting 1,500 tonight for me to play some awful variant of Super Mario World. We'll see what that is. Not tonight, but we'll fit it on the schedule. But you got to get to 1500 by the end of the night.
I've got to ask the question: are there any good variants of Super Mario World?
Yeah, there's like a zero exit. It's like 45 seconds. I feel like most people can tolerate 45 seconds of Super Mario World.
I guess that's about right. That's about right. And we're gonna have this. I believe we're gonna have the same racers for Mario World.
To my knowledge, we're gonna have exactly the same racers. If not, then maybe I'll have to hop in anyway. But to my knowledge, we're having the same racers.
So here's the strat I was talking about earlier. Oglib up on the edge of the screen, kind of jumping as needed, somewhat off time. Maybe not immediately when you see it, just to get over these bombs. It's important to pretty much mash the fire button here, though. It's not just these... I forget what the mole enemies' names are. I want to say they're Rocky Wrenches or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. But there's two instances, and you already saw one of them, where he'll be standing on a bomb cannon as it fires, and Mario's going to stomp it, but by tapping B, he's going to catch the bomb and kick it off screen. There it is. Which will despawn it, so he never actually sees it. Free level.
Easiest level in the game.
I'm also not going to be shown up by his Mario 3 brethren here. Going for this clip. Needs to get to the second one. It looks like there's a way out, but because you have to break that brick, the only way out, well, is the clip itself. Oglib, unfortunately, getting hit by freaking laser beams. So I'm curious to just see how he handles the rest of the level. He's probably just going to go in and do a normal Bowser fight. He's going to try and clip at this point. I think he knows the standings of the race. Is it just me, or is Bowser's Castle kind of full of clips more than any other level in this game? Many of which are actually slower than playing the stage normally.
Yeah, there's a lot of options for clipping in this stage.
Oh, and there it is. Mario getting hit by a down fireball.
It happens to the best of us.
It's almost... I mean, it's obviously better to have the extra hit, because if you're worried about getting hit, why not have an extra hit? But at least with Small Mario, you can move and kind of get into a better position while Bowser is breathing fire. Easy game.
And with that, Oglib is going to wrap up with a 237 and some change. Really great time as well.
Really good.
Sky is currently loading up Super Mario World. It looks like we've got Rupert back on the docket.
Sky's going to go in for dirty practice.
No, I think she's trying to load it up. She just doesn't know where it is. And she's going to come running in here and say, I can't find it.
So we were talking about... well, you know, I'm going to wait for Lasso to beat this level. Ludwig, that last section, not entirely trivial. Ludwig himself, kind of one missed jump, and the way he stuns the floor, it's very easy to kind of just get caught in an infinite. Now that Lasso is through, we were talking about Sky potentially having a PB here. Lasso has about 18 minutes to PB, and he's into World 8. In a game where I believe the record for with warps that has to clear all of World 8 anyway is something like 9 minutes. Oh, it's closer to 11 minutes. It was something low.
Yeah, he's gonna wrap up within 250, I think. He'd have to make some pretty significant mistakes for 250 to not still be on the table.
Of course, as soon as we say that, he gets hit. So,
Well, you know, I don't believe in curses, so I don't think commentators' curse is a real thing. There, I said it. I said it.
The problem is Lasso and I are both baseball fans, and baseball fans are famously superstitious about everything. So this could get ugly.
I want to remind you guys, it's not something that Sky asked me to point out, but I am planning on making a highlight reel for St. Jude Play Live for this event in particular, the 12K Strong for St. Jude, this year's St. Jude Marathon. So over the course of the week, if you find good clips, make sure you go onto Sky's Discord channel and post them in the clips channel on her Discord. The best ones will get compiled into a highlight reel. So just make sure you take care of that. Anything good you find, anything you find interesting, just let me know. Let us know.
I know I saw a clip earlier of that Onglib wall jump.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's in the chat right now. I see it right there.
So keep making those clips, everybody.
Yeah, keep them coming, and we'll get a nice highlight reel for the whole event. If you clip something good and we end up using it for the highlight reel, we'll put your name in the description of the video, so you get credit for it. So it's on you to find all the good stuff, and we'll shout out everyone who helped us put that clip compilation together.
Would you say $20 is good stuff?
Would I say $20 is good stuff? I'd say $20 is great stuff.
I don't think we've gotten this one yet, and my eyes suck. Let me get close to this.
Yeah, we've got 20 from
20
Kiaris.
Kiaris. I need to make sure that was an I, not an L. $20 from Kiaris. Taking a break from studying for the last final. Best of luck to the runners. Thank you for donating. Good luck on your final.
Yep. Best of luck. Pass all of your finals, and we thank you so much for your support.
It's like everyone's gearing up for Mario World. I feel like I heard more about people practicing for Mario World than for All Stars. It's a game that I think the followers of these channels kind of known for a while. We've all just played Mario World to death.
I mean, that's how most of us know each other, is playing Mario World in one capacity or another.
Oddly enough, yes.
And I guess don't forget, there's still a donation incentive on the table. $1,500. We're about $200 away from it, for getting me and perhaps Rupert to play some cool Super Mario World stuff later in the event. So that'll be another night, not tonight, but another night, and we'll come up with something fun. It'll either be Chinese Super Mario World, or maybe Lunar Dragon, or maybe 95 Exit. Some of those will take a lot more practice than others.
You want to make Author Blues play Super Mario World.
You probably want to make me play Chinese Super Mario World, because I think that's more fun to watch, but...
That's why I want to make you play both.
All right, well, if you make it to 1,700, I'll see if I can talk Rupert into both. No, I can't promise that. I'm sorry. I immediately rescind that. I'm already over-promising Rupert for things.
Do you know what I want most for my birthday?
What do you want most for your birthday?
I want to make you play both.
When's your birthday?
Soon.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get it now. Let's make it a nice round number, 1,750, and I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Rupert. We'll see if we can find time for all assortment of terrible SMW ideas.
Also with two hands, getting through the airship, the Air Force. I'm trying to think. Can you make like a veritable bracket of Mario World categories to figure out which one is the worst?
Yeah, we should do that. We should have a bracket competition of worst SMW category.
Just start like throwing category names out there and like in pairs. See what sticks.
So we've got Lasso heading into the actual proper World 8 stages. So he's still got 8-1, 8-2, 8-4, and then the Super Tank, and we'll be done.
He still has Bowser's Castle.
Yeah, but who cares about Bowser's Castle? That guy's a loser.
Wow.
Oglid sharing some of his favorite YouTube content with us. I did not commit him to 960, and here's how I know I didn't commit him to 960, because I would not commit to 960.
960 or Lunar Dragon Pacifist? The real question is, would you clear 960 before Lunar Dragon Pacifist?
I'm not begging Rupert for 960 because I'm not playing 960.
What about a 2016?
Let's put it this way. If we can get to 1500, I will talk to Rupert about getting Chinese Super Mario World on the schedule. If he's game for it, then it's on. If he's not, then it'll be just me. If we can get to 1750, I will see if I can talk to Sky into getting something like Lunar Dragon on the schedule. And if Rupert wants to join me for it, he can.
Also opting to take the hit from the dry bones there. You must have the ability to break bricks, which is mostly known as having a power-up in this game, to proceed, rather than kind of go through this kind of really mazy room up top, which is sort of your without dying route. You just opted to take the death, start the level over, get that power-up.
Losso's working his way through the fort. This fort is fairly standard for SMB3 players. There's, time-tested, proven way to get through this fort quickly. I'm interested in knowing whether or not Losso already has... I was just about to ask whether or not he already had a power-up prepared for Bowser, or if he was going to grab that Fire Flower there.
Yeah, the one thing I would have done for Losso is hit this P-switch first. I don't think it's possible to get the fire and still make the Boom Boom door in one cycle. So once he went to get fire, he was committing to that extra cycle. Not that big a deal. And the other thing is, unfortunately, on the NES version, I'm sure Losso would have done it. You can actually clip from the Fire Flower room to Boom Boom's room. Because it's Mario 3, why wouldn't you be able to clip? But on the SNES version, it is not easy. They move the door over so you can't do the door clip. Right.
So Losso is now entering the Super Tank, and then we'll be heading into Bowser's Castle. Losso's actually been doing a lot of any percent no wrong warp lately, so he's pretty familiar with World 8. This should be more or less his wheelhouse at this point.
Yeah, Losso has been playing Mario 3 for a long time now. I think he kind of mentioned the no wrong warp is kind of no wrong warp in this category is kind of just not a lot of people really grind it, because you kind of get into, oh, I got a hand, I guess I'm resetting. I got a hand, I guess I'm resetting. Oh, no hands. Oh no, wait, I made a mistake on this level. I guess I'm resetting. So it can get really tedious.
Right.
Losso kind of hit that wall of, well, I play this game. I need to have a reasonable time in it. I know that's been the recent history of Losso, as he executes at least the second half of the Oglib Super Tank Strat TM.
Yeah, we're exactly $30 away from the gamer number, so...
Ooh.
21 raiders from Randomania have joined. Thank you so much, Randomania, for sending your support to this great event. Also now entering Bowser's Castle. Not having a star, but who needs it? Just gonna clip right through the wall, no big deal. Bowser really needs to get some better construction here because the walls aren't even solid, it seems.
Yeah, Lasso with the people's clip. Sometimes called the everyman clip.
He's going for the fun clip here. It doesn't save time. It loses it, but I mean, why wouldn't you? When you could.
I think he's just trying to put off playing Super Mario World as long as
I think
he can.
we're all trying to put off playing Super Mario World in our life.
Which would you rather play, in the 6 or all 4s?
Oh, rough. In the 6.
Hit yellow switch or switch the Yoshi?
Switch the Yoshi. That's a good category.
I know.
Did you build a bracket and now you're going to ask me them one by one?
I've been kind of thinking of what they would be. Right now I'm trying to think of what to put up against, I guess it's Beat Special World or 31 message blocks or whatever it actually is. Don't quote me on the number.
17 message blocks.
Also proving Bowser's hitbox remains even after defeated.
You got to be careful. And with that, we are now wrapping up SMB3, ready for our Super Mario World race. You donated for it. You donated $1,000. You donated much more than that, by the way. But you met our incentive of $1,000 to play Super Mario World tonight. So first off, thank you so much.
You are all amazing.
Thank you so much for all of your contributions, your support. All this money goes directly to Play Live St. Jude. It goes directly to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We're really appreciative of the support you've been showing and helping this event get started on the right foot. And with that, Lazo now has no more capability of putting off playing Super Mario World, everyone's actually favorite game.
Super Mario World is, also kind of alluded to it earlier, kind of the game we all got started with in speedrunning, or at least we all met each other through it. There is a thriving Mario World community out there that just, for some reason, keeps playing this video game, probably because it's actually really easy to just jump into and play. So as much as everybody's out there, and yeah, we love to meme on this game, if you feel like racing and getting into speedrunning, pick up Super Mario World. Just join some races. The community is awesome. Then we'll talk you into playing a better game. But start with Mario World. Do it.
It looks like they're setting up right this second to go ahead and get into this No Star World race. Want to hit the ground running? Makes sense.
All right.
Why do we dislike Super Mario World? We love Super Mario World.
So
I mean, enough Super Mario World to be allowed to hate on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to kind of take that step back. Mario World, it's not a bad game. We've just kind of grounded into the ground, so much that we've all kind of learned to love to hate what we love. It's family.
It's true. It's true. We're allowed to pick on Super Mario World, but we'll defend it to the death against outsiders.
That's sadly true.
Now, it looks like we're off on our way. A little bit of desync from our streams. Sky is a few seconds behind everyone else. Looks like Lasso was kind enough to chroma key his stream for us.
Yep, that was kind of hiding back there and way back on Morton's airship as well.
Wow. Well, I completely missed it.
It was there. He thinks he can hide. So Yoshi's Island 2, kind of the game of how much swag you can get just jumping on random things.
So they're playing No Star World.
P-Speed.
They're playing No Star World. No Star World is, I mean, we've been going pretty hard on Super Mario World all night. Probably one of the less interesting categories, but it is the fastest warpless category, and so it's the category of choice when you're combining an all games warpless race.
Yeah, all castles by and large is a more interesting category in that it has more strats, more things to do, and less flyover levels. But for all of that, you lose, what is it, about 2 minutes?
Something like that. Yeah, it's like 33 versus 31. A good question in chat. Someone asked, why did they intentionally skip the midway tape? The reason why they're intentionally skipping the midway tape, most of them, is because the very first jump in Castle 1 is a lot easier if you're small. And so you'll see runners actually intentionally avoiding any power-ups until they get to that point, at which point they'll immediately outfit themselves with power-ups right away. So,
yeah, Iggy's Castle has a couple of jumps. It's easier to do small. There's a couple load ceilings, low-hanging enemies. You don't have any access to a cape to do any sort of weird flying until Donut Plains, so there's no sense, for the most part, in getting that power up right away. Sky always does, I believe, get that midway tape early on. Having that extra hit in a race, honestly, it's not a bad thing. We're talking about really a very small amount of time you're saving by having no power-ups going into Iggy's Castle, and you still need the execution on top of it to basically take a risk in a race that really you're saving maybe a second and a half tops.
yeah, so the amount of time it takes for her to take this first hit, which she probably will. Actually, she just took her time, so she didn't take the hit, which is perfectly fine as well. Not going to make a huge difference. She plays the beginning of this game fairly conservatively, and I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, it's been a while since all of us have played Super Mario World regularly, but she's still got the chops. She still knows what she's doing. She breezed right through YI3, Yoshi's Island 3, which is a remarkably difficult stage for new runners and rusty players alike. So
it's amazing. I mean, it's like every other speed game out there. Usually there's a stage early on that has some pretty tight execution involved in it. In this case, it's YI3, because normally, well, if you don't get it, you just reset. Of course, in a race situation, can't exactly do that, and then you're behind one castle level like Lasso is right now. Lasso should be picking right back up, though. I'm not too worried about him.
in this category, we will expect to see exactly one Yabi die. So
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
that's fine. That chroma key looks so bad. I assume you're using bad in the way that the modern youths use it, where what they mean is it's actually good, but they use the word bad to mean good, because I think that chroma key is awesome.
Yeah, that chroma key looks pretty good back there. I mean, it really enhances the level to have that in the background. Especially right now. I don't know why they made stained glass of their enemy, but there is Fire Flower Mario looking out his window.
It really ties the game together.
I do want to call out that Rupert took some hits. He lost his Fire Flower, also lost his backup Shroom, which is less important. Much like in Mario 3, you kept fire as much as possible to make short work of bosses. Same idea here in Mario World. You want to keep that Fire Flower in reserve so you can just switch to it when you enter a Koopaling's room, take him out, and then you just kind of switch right back to, or Cape, the most overpowered power-up ever.
We've got 3 of our 4 runners are so much in lockstep. This is really awesome to watch. Sky actually, with perhaps a little bit of a lead, if I had to guess, over Rupert up until that. Just because of the fact that her game started a little bit later. She's going to be playing a little bit conservatively here, and she'll probably just go back for Cape. Not a huge issue. Super Mario World punishes you for your mistakes, but it's usually pretty easy to recover.
Yeah.
Stream should be synced now. Oh, thank you. Okay, never mind. Dork says that the stream should be synced now.
Glib is probably been playing too much 96 lately. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to have access to the top secret area?
Maybe it's a calculated time loss, or maybe he has no idea where he's going.
He says, shoutouts to My Cousin Vinny, an Academy Award-winning movie. I've seen it once or twice, but I can't think of what reference he's otherwise going for.
Because people in the channel are saying Utes. 2 Utes.
Utes.
What's the category here? We're playing No Star World. It is the category of choice when talking about a warpless category. It's the fastest category that does not use Star World, but it's probably, I would say, one of the less interesting categories overall. It's a really cool game. Unfortunately, it will be mixed with one really long auto-scroller right in the middle of it. So.
The worst thing about No Star World is the stretch of levels from Vanilla Secret 2 through Butterbridge 2, which features 3 flyover levels, a water level, and an auto-scroller. Literally the only auto-scroller in the game, I believe.
So we got a $20 donation from Osu Mario Kart Man saying, "Go Sky, Sky Palmel, Osu Mario, Sky Palmar." I have to read the emotes because you can't see them. I can see them, but you can't see them. And that puts us now $10 away from the gamer number. So thanks so much for putting us a little closer to the gamer number. All of you gamers are definitely appreciated.
I think everybody at this point kind of knows how to fly in Mario World. Just keep holding the run button once you hit the top of flight and tap left. If you're not sure exactly when to tap left, there's a great room in Donut Plains 1. It's a bonus room. It's got these like 3 rows of coins and a cape sitting in it. And basically you can use that to kind of practice your how high can you go. That's on top of all the assorted basically ROM hacks and practice carts that are out there for the Mario World community. Morton Fly on Rupert's screen. Let's go. Basically, by kind of exploiting knowledge of how P-Speed works and how the takeoff meter, that is not a thing you see, but it's certainly there, works. And I think he's going for... He might have been going for one tile fly. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's going for the Cecilcom fly. That's pulling back to some old school strats. Agent 00 Shoe just subscribed. Thank you for 20 months in a row. Your support of this channel is just unbelievable.
So yeah, Morton Fly, if you get it, saves what, like probably 30 seconds?
It's pretty significant. You end up saving at least 2 cycles, at least. And each cycle is 17 seconds. It doesn't seem like it, but it's massive, the amount of time that each cycle of these back and forth take.
There are some other strats here. That Cecil Fly you saw from Rupert, like I'll say that's an old school strat. It certainly still works. There's a 1-tile fly strat to kind of take off again the next level up.
These days, most people are doing the springboard strat. Bringing the springboard and throwing down the spikes.
I remember when people told me the springboard was too hard. Now everyone's doing it.
Now all the cool kids are doing it.
Rupert makes this fly up here.
Rupert putting the key in the keyhole. Unfortunately, you don't get to do the cool cool wings in that stage because wings will earn you the normal exit, and we need the secret exit to head up toward the top of Vanilla Dome.
Yeah, but now you don't even need to do wings. I thought the whole point of speedrunning was to do things faster and easier.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. And this is one of the main route deviations between All Castles and No Star World. All Castles would have gone toward Castle 3, whereas No Star World goes on the top of Vanilla Dome. A little bit faster, but the penalty is you have to sit through a 90-second auto-scroller.
So, yeah, Vanilla Secret 1 where Sky is right now, much like Morton's Castle.
All about learning to fly, all about learning to fly vertically.
It is. It's really all about understanding the takeoff meter, understanding how fast you have to be going to be able to take off again. Oglip here, that was an interesting hit of that vine block because the shell hit it on the side, actually.
So Oglip here going for the backup, trying to get up there. There we go.
Trying to do the pump strat instead of just landing. There is a pump strat. It's probably saves maybe like half a second over going all the way to the ground to take off again. That said,
If you haven't refreshed the restream in a while, you should. You might be a few seconds behind.
it does happen now and again. I think I haven't refreshed it since Mario 2U.
Yeah, you may want to refresh.
Yeah. Cool.
Oglib's doing his best to try to fly Vanilla Secret 1. The stage is not easy if you're not pretty well practiced at it. Oglib finally saying, screw it, I'm just going to climb the vine. Lazo, right with him. Lazo
Glib,
given the
no.
time to catch up. No! Glib
Glib realizes too late his mistake.
I feel like Glib isn't quite sure of where he's going at all times, but he says, you know what? It's for the kids.
The race is it true that Glib's donating like $1 for every exit he clears?
He better be. He needs to pay for this somehow. Just Bernie donated $11 saying because I had to ruin something. So skipping right past the gamer number. Thanks for skipping the gamer number. Ratty donated $10 saying fun game name things. Rex Smug. Thank you so much, Ratty. And Pamplemousse donating $420. That's the weed number. She donated, this one is for SMW Torture. I can't wait for Lunar Dragon and Chinese Super Mario World. I'm already regretting all my actions. Shout outs to Cecil Fly. So thank you, Pamplemousse, for helping us hit 1750. We are now at 1768. We are just cruising along.
I am not sure what Glib's doing anymore.
I'm not sure Glib knows what Glib's doing anymore. He's aware that this is no Star World. He's not aware that this is no Star World.
He's
That's
certainly in the Star World, though. Not only that, but I believe he went to the Star World exit a second time. So right now he's following his heart, and I can't really argue with that. Meanwhile, Sky is about to reach Reznor. Rupert, I didn't even see the Reznor fight on Rupert's side, but he is flying through the auto-scroller, which is harder than it sounds like to do.
Pamplemousse with the unbelievable support tonight. For a combined total of like almost $600. That's so incredibly generous.
I'm just now noticing that Oglib has Franker Z over Mario's face on the pose for stage clear.
I mean, that just makes sense. What would you, if you had to like dive into the mind of Oglib, what would you say is going on in Oglib's head right now?
Bustin', 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 bustin'.
Oglib's just heading to Bowser. I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go and fight Bowser, and he's gonna say, "Look, guys, I won the race."
He knows the SRL police are literally commentating the race, right?
Oglib is winning. That's what he's doing. He's winning. He's not winning the same race the others are, but he's winning. It does seem to me like Bustin' makes him feel good. He's going in the 6. You know what? I would not put it past Oglib. The huge meme man. He's absolutely going in the 6.
I hope he goes in the 6. The hot new category.
And no one's ever thought to go into Star World in No Star World. I wonder what has made people overlook that obvious time save.
I think it's the new meta.
Well,
I
if he
think
doesn't
that's-
get a cape, he's not going in the 6. I'll tell you that much.
Is Cape required to go in the 6?
I don't know how he's going to get on top of the 6 to get in the 6.
Can
Also,
you
I don't know offhand if Glib knows how to get in the 6. It's non-trivial.
I never thought about that part of it. I mean, It looks like it's fairly trivial with like a couple of little minor tricks that I know. Rupert here making short work of the spike room now that he's back into playing actual levels. Oglib realizing he's made poor life choices.
Well, he's in a Super Mario World race right now, so.
I know.
Rupert making short work of the vertical room. Climbing up these fences in the vertical room here is just a huge challenge.
No, I guess
okay.
it's
So
okay.
Glib just realized that he's in Star World and he's not supposed to be. So Rupert is going to get the two cycle here on Ludwig. Saves a little bit of time. Fun fact, letting Ludwig go off screen when he is in his like rolling animation is actually a little bit slower. His counter doesn't count down in the same way when he's off screen. Just a little fun fact for you.
You also obviously don't want to put him in a situation where he's going to jump off screen, and then
Right.
you can't jump on him. That's bad. That's called going slow.
Yep. We call that making mistakes. A lot like Oglib here.
We love Oglib, but why?
Do you think
My wife
he's
wants to make sure he's not playing Tarchan yet, but
Do you think it's occurred to him that he's gonna want a cape for in the 6?
I don't think he's ever been in a 6 before. Rupert and Forest Island 1. Forest Island? I'm going to go with that. Forest Island 1 is, you want to get this Yoshi and still clear the level, obviously going as fast as you can. There's a lot of lag near the end of the level. You need Yoshi to do clips in the next level. I wonder what Oglib's next move is going to be.
I honestly just don't feel like Oglib's thought any of this through. So Sky wrapping up Ludwig's Castle, while Rupert just finished Forest of Illusion 1. Forest of Illusion 1's a fairly straightforward stage until you have a Yoshi in it. That does make it a little more challenging. And now he's going to be trying to clip out of bounds with Yoshi. That's going to be our real major glitch in this category, honestly. And he's through. He's out of bounds.
Easy.
Goes ahead and lets Yoshi die. Who needs him? The dumb idiot.
Doesn't even know how physics works.
Alright, Glib has thought this one through. Comes in with a power-up.
I'm not putting it past Glib is listening to the restream.
Yeah, he may... this might be an instance of don't put beans
No,
in your
you
nose.
have to go through door 4. Author Blue, sir, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because it occurs to me now that you've mentioned that he probably wasn't even doing in the 6 before, and only is now doing it because we mentioned it. I will drop $20 right now if he doesn't kill himself on the first try. I'm just putting that up.
That wasn't that the first try?
No, I'm saying his first attempt to get in the 6. If he doesn't die, if he gets in and doesn't die, I will put $20 down right now. You don't need to duck fly. Just fly to the left-hand side and then duck, crouch, jump through the rest of it. We're teaching him how to play in the 6.
I think you just need to
teaching him.
change it from in the 6 to first try to like without dying at all. This guy also got the clip here. Rupert, if you haven't seen it,
Okay, now he's in.
is going for Roy Fly now. You're supposed to take this really slow winding block snake through this level, but if you dive at that pillar,
Easy every time.
easy every time. When you tap left, you pull up a lot. You get all the height back, and that helps you get through the stage a lot faster than, I don't know, playing it normally. They try to put those pottabos in the way so that you can't just fly through it, but obviously we are too clever for that.
Wow, to the unsuspecting viewer, you'd really think that Oglib was crushing this race.
Yeah.
Lazo's doing a great job keeping up with the rest of them. You know, Rupert just finished Roy, and Lazo is already heading into Force Evolution 2, which is really impressive because both Sky and Rupert are incredibly strong Super Mario World players. And I haven't seen Lazo play a ton of Super Mario World, but he's keeping up with them really nicely, which is great.
Also had a little bit of trouble early on with YI3. Other than that, I mean, he didn't get the Morton's Castle fly or the Vanilla Secret fly perfectly. But otherwise, yeah, keeping up. Sky getting that Roy fly. That looked a little close. We might want to check that cape for burns. I didn't see if Rupert got the cannon fly or not. I think he did. So Rupert just kind of flying through Chocolate Ghost House here. There is a block above the screen. You don't want to run into it. It's bad. Stops your movement just like that. So, I mean, it's not that bad. It just is annoying. Also, still going for this clip. Finally gets it. 145 left. I think he still has enough time to make it.
Definitely world record.
Totally world record. If only we had thought to use the Star World in the no Star World category. Think of all the time we could have saved. You know, actually, I will plug this now. There is actually an 11 exit no major glitches tournament going on the Super Mario World Twitch channel this month. So if you like this game and you like people going faster this game, you can go ahead and follow that channel for later and see a tournament go on.
Twitch.tv/Super Mario World, all one word. I mean, it's actually 3 words, but it doesn't have spaces or underscore. It's all one word.
So it's 3 words as one word.
Right.
Rupert is in Chocolate Secret, kind of an infamous long level. He doesn't get the midway tape, which hopefully won't matter, but potentially could matter. Of course, Oglib won the race, so none of it matters. Sky getting the boo bounce. Rupert.
It's amazing that Oglib had the foresight to go ahead and just go straight to Bowser. Don't know why these other runners didn't think of that.
Just weren't thinking.
You hate to see that happen.
All right, here's Lasso's Roy Fly. Nice. Lasso's going to kind of take that landing there to take a breather. Gets that bonk in when he takes off again, just to make sure he doesn't go into the spikes. Easy game. Rupert flying through that last part of Chocolate Secret as well. Not quite as easy as it looks. There's a couple of weird things that can happen, clipping through some diagonal platforms if you land at the wrong time. The sound of Mario's cape pump gets eaten by the charging chucks in that room.
Sky bringing a Yoshi through CI2.
The Darby and Yoshi.
Strange choice, considering there's literally no value to having Yoshi through the rest of this run.
I'm surprised you added in the rest of this run.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. No usefulness to Yoshi at all. He helps you get out of bounds one time, but I could have done it on my own. He's an idiot.
Wendy fight can be tricky. Usually Wendy's castle has a habit of causing bad things to happen in big races. So I'm glad that Rupert's gotten through it okay.
I think Glib's gonna hop in.
You love to see that happen.
Alright, Glib should be server unmuted right now at least. But he's muted himself.
I like
Hello?
how the
Hello?
Hi.
Congrats on
Yo.
the world record.
Yo, thanks, guys.
We've got Oglip here in the chat right now. He's hanging out with us the rest of this race. He had the foresight to finish earlier than they did, which I think makes him the winner.
Yeah, so here's what happened, right? So I get the wrong exit in Donut Ghost House. Whatever, that's fine. I can just play that off like I just wanted a backup to have, top
Yeah,
secret.
that's what we said.
Right? Yeah. That you can play that one off. And then I got the secret exit and vanilla secret one, which I don't know if you guys know, but that's not the correct exit to get in that stage. And I've also been listening to Bustin' by Ray Parker Jr. for the last 45 minutes. So I think that kind of played a factor into it, and I just decided, okay, all right, we'll change the game here, and we'll go into Star World in a no Star World race, and we'll see if anybody notices.
So quick question, how did Bustin' make you feel?
Bustin' makes me feel good. In general.
That's good.
Yeah. But unfortunately, my warp strat didn't work. Everybody
I can
noticed.
understand that,
Yeah. I feel like I gave it a valiant effort, though.
You did. You almost got away with it. We were about to credit you with the world record, and then we said, now wait. Something's wrong.
I was going to credit him with the
Nice.
world record, and then he failed to get in the 6.
I
No.
can't do Ducky Fly. I'm so sad. That's what I was gonna do. I saw John Carlos mentioned in the 6. I'm like, okay, that's a good way to end it. Is to just completely disqualify myself by soft blocking or whatever. And then I couldn't get the stupid Ducky Fly, so I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm over.
Well, you've made a lot of people's nights. The only way you could have done this better would be if you had chroma keyed your stream.
Zlosso's got Mario looking out his window.
I linked you to the restream if you want to join us for commentary. I think Oglip can't hear us over the sound of Bustin'.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of troubles with that. Also, I forgot push to talk was a thing here for a minute. So I don't know how many words I said without you hearing anything.
We've heard a lot of words from you, though.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm turning busting. I should turn my stream off. I'm going to end my stream. Okay, I ended my stream.
Well, Bustin' will do that to you.
Yeah, sometimes busting, it does make you feel good, but sometimes it makes you end your stream.
All right, so Rupert's
Should I
heading
save
into-
these splits? Maybe.
Rupert is heading into the sandbar. I'm not going to be able to do sandbar clip, but then again, I don't think Rupert's ever gone for sandbar clip.
No
It's
one
not
has
his
ever
style.
gone for it.
I've only ever gone for sandbar clip when I have literally no other way to succeed, and then I get it.
Nice.
That's why I can't beat my PB in 96 exit ever again. Because I went for sandbar clip because I couldn't PB, and then I PB'd.
You hate to see that happen.
You do! It's not a good thing that you would like to see happen.
Yeah, nice orb from Sky.
Absolutely next level.
Or
You like to see that happen. Oh, I had the wrong. Hold on. Where's the
Do you think we'll see a world record in this race?
I mean, we've already seen one. You think we could see a second one?
I think logistically speaking, it's impossible to see 2 world records in one race.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry for getting world record, everybody.
Yeah, you kind of ruined it for everyone
Ruining
else.
my bad. That's true. We didn't consider that. Somebody could potentially break the space-time continuum and actually finish faster than me. That would allow us to have 2 world records.
It'd be really impressive to watch someone finish faster than you after you.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. I hope somebody tries it.
It's innovative. It's evocative.
thinking outside the box.
Do you think we'll see Sky go for a sandbar clip here?
You know, I want to say yes. My heart says yes, but my mind says no.
Depends on how consistent at it she is.
That does not look like a sandbar setup. You know, we got Lasso swimming through the sunken ghost ship. Firefly and Mario keeping a close eye on him.
Well, what a night it's been. A ton of money raised for St. Jude. We appreciate all of your support, everyone. We appreciate how hard you've worked and how much you've given for the St. Jude Play Live campaign benefiting St. Jude Children's Hospital. It's been a ton of fun being able to hang out with you guys.
It's been fun.
I'm gonna
Everybody's-
hop out of here. Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
Take it easy, Glib.
But yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I didn't meme too hard. Tell Sky.
You memed the right amount.
Okay, thanks.
It was a good amount of memeing.
Tell Sky I'm
I liked
sorry
it.
that I don't remember how to play SMW. That's my fault. Probably should have remembered how to do that. But yeah, take it easy. And thanks for the commentary, guys. I'm sure you guys had a good time. So have a
Yes.
good night, everybody.
Later.
Later, dude.
My body.
Ba-la-bum-bum.
Also just falling through the sunken ghost ship
Getting the backup star.
on top of a beautiful stained glass portrait.
Rupert. Extending the race. Really extending the race.
Ooh. You hate to see some of this happen.
Cutting things close. There we go.
All right, that's how it happens. Where we see a 34.58 from him.
Nice. Rupert just dominating the Mario games tonight.
Absolutely crushing it. Sky's heading into backdoor now, which she'll make short work of before heading into Bowser himself. Let's see how well she does on the Bowser fight.
I'm told Cape Kill is at least mostly free.
It depends. I mean, you can do it in pieces. You don't have to do the whole thing. So we'll see which pieces she elects to do and which ones she elects to not do. Some parts are definitely easier than others, that's for sure.
I'm also having a little trouble, it looks like, with some of these moles. Not too much. Moles do have a wonky hitbox.
So it looks like she's not too worried about the typical cape kill strat. She's just going to go through and kill Bowser as quickly as possible without any flash, no panache.
Just taking care of business.
Just taking care of business. Is Rupert coming into chat? Rupert's welcome to come into chat. Anyone is welcome to come into chat if they'd like to talk with us.
Also, getting the mushroom, then losing the mushroom.
We are on Sky's Discord, and if you want to join us for commentary or chat with us, I think Rupert would be of particular interest to come and talk, because I've kind of promised a whole bunch of... I need to explain to him and apologize.
You need to not apologize when you say it.
I won't apologize. I apologize then, but I won't apologize when I talk to him. But we're on Sky's Discord, so... if Rupert wants to come by. No, John. It'll come as quite the shock to him, John. This guy got a 38. That's still really good.
38 cold is still really good. 38 in general is still good.
Alright, Rupert, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Also, please crush this fortress.
He knows what's up.
How much time does it take to get from here to beating Bowser?
I don't know, like 3 minutes? 4 minutes, maybe?
Okay.
Hey, Rupert.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, congrats on doing so well on both races.
Oh, thanks.
Just Rupert being Rupert.
So, you may have heard that, hey, Rupert, how would you feel about playing Chinese Super Mario World sometime?
The direct approach.
I guess that'd be all right.
Okay, great. How would you feel about also playing Lunar Dragon sometime?
Maybe I'm not as excited about that one, but I would.
I just need to add a Losso Y into the middle of that, and that's before he got hit.
All right. Well, I may have said that if we got to 1500, I would talk you into doing Chinese Super Mario World, and then the lovely Pomplamoose asks how much to get you both to race Lunar Dragon as well. And I said if we got to 1750, which we had no chance of getting to 1750. Don't worry. I was playing my cards close to my chest. There's no way it was going to happen. But then Pomplamoose dropped $420. So.
Yeah, of course you did.
So now, by the way, hi Sky.
Hello.
Now we have to figure out where that's going on the schedule, which is not my job.
I will find room for it. Just let me know what your estimates are before we do that, and we'll find
Lunar
room for it.
Dragon, like 6 hours for me.
Oh my goodness. We'll find room. We'll find room. Rupert's just gonna let me know his availability.
Yeah, I've never done Lunar Dragon, but
You've never done Lunar Dragon? Perfect.
No.
I don't have to practice. Yes. Okay. All right. Good. All right. We'll do Lunar Dragon. That's perfect. And then we can do Chinese Super Mario World sometime as well. We'll figure it out.
I gotta admit, this is a St. Jude first. Someone added an incentive to the schedule that I did not.
Look, I'm sorry. I was getting bullied by the chat. They said how much to get you to play
basically
Super
had
Mario
to
World.
happen.
I got bullied, and they wanted to give money. They wanted to give a lot of money. But I had to pony up. So
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now we have a little bit of a note here. I wish I had my buddy sent here, but we do have a matter of prizes. to give
Prizes?
away. Yeah, prizes.
did somebody say prize?